Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cantina MX Football Podcast, episode 506. Tonight's big story, Javier Aguirre and the Mexican national team have released the preliminary list of convocados for the 2026 World Cup. A total of 20 domestic players, 12 of them have punched their ticket for the final World Cup roster list. And some shocking, noticeable absences from this list. We also just had our first semifinal encounter in the CONCACAF Champions Cup between Tigres and Nashville. Tigres were able to secure a very valuable away goal in just a 1-0 result. And we have a newcomer, Atlante, is back in the first division, and their course of action is bringing back Piojo Herrera. That is just some of the few topics we're going to be talking about tonight. We are live on Twitter Spaces. We're live on YouTube. So a reminder to all of our listeners, make sure to follow us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on all your favorite podcasting applications, just to stay in touch with us. All right. Let's get this going. We have a couple of people joining us all over the world, but let's talk about what's top of mind here. Tigres versus Nashville. That game just wrapped up, and Tigres were able to score a golazo. World Cup winner Angel Correa scored it around the half-hour mark. It was a thing of beauty, zurdazo, and really put Nashville on its back. You know, it was a tough game, and obviously having to travel on the road, Tigres really failed to secure away goals in previous matches in the Conca Champions. So getting an away goal today was massive for them, and they will try to wrap things up in El Volcán next Tuesday on Cinco de Manes. All right. Let me get some of our panelists on here tonight. Our number one Cruz Azul fan, Abdias, welcome.
Buenas, putos. ¿Cómo andamos?
We're good, man. I heard you're on a rhino pill, so we're in for a good one tonight.
Oh, bro, you know what? Have you ever seen Limitless? You know... Yep. That dude could see the numbers. He could do whatever he wanted. He was a wizard with a computer. That's me. But instead of a computer, it's my dick weight. That's how good the gold rhino is. All right. So, si no estás listo, cuídate, carnal. Porque, pues, si no tienes cuidado, you're going to need a wheelchair by the end of this.
Yeah, you're feeling good. You were able to get a pretty substantial victory against Necaxa over the weekend, securing that third place, right? And you guys will be playing against who? Monterrey? Or who are you guys playing?
I believe we're going up against Atlas.
Oh, you guys are going to play against Atlas in the quarterfinals. Pretty accessible, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't see much opposition there, especially because, well, we kind of talked about it in the last episode. We didn't go fully into it. Pero lo más importante aquí, güey, is that Aztec football is back, okay? Last year, we started getting back in touch with our roots, with our pre-Hispanic roots. The name Talok came back into the vernacular of the everyday Mexican. We started talking about the old gods. Right now, Larcamón gets kicked out. We get Wikidios to come back. There's sacrifices at Teotihuacan. And boom. Así mero, güey. Aztec football is back. Cruz Azul con un pinche, ni quiero decir morenito, güey. Un vato que se ve que salió de la pinche jungla. He's covered in the finest oils and berries. Moreno de a madre. And he's taking the team back to glory. All right? And you know how he did it? By not being a fucking revolutionary. by not being a fucking madman. Hey, guess what? We have this multi-million-dollar fucking team. Play the players in their positions. See what happens.
It also helps that
doesn't hurt. Yeah,
you guys play Necaxa, man. Come on.
It doesn't hurt that you're facing shit sippers. All right. Pero if anything, it just holds true the old adage in Mexico, at least, that he who debuts coach wins the match.
Yeah, we look at this preliminary list. We're going to get more people on right now, but Cruz Azul pretty much unscathed. Yes, Eric Lira was expected to be called up to the World Cup, but no Charlie Rodriguez. I cannot believe it. No Charlie Rodriguez on this list of 20. How do you feel? I know you're probably torn, right? Because that means you're going to have to use him in Liguilla.
You know what, man? Honestly, Charlie isn't bad. All right. You guys want to shit on him all the time. I know that for you guys, looking at Charlie, you see it as punching up because, you know your fucking place. All right. So I'm not even going to start discussing mental midgetry right now. Now, the thing about Charlie is he hasn't been a fucking game changer for the last couple years. So, you know what? Bájalo del pinche barco, güey. I'm okay with it. I am all for it.
What I've heard of some, first of all, how's it going, guys? What I heard about some Charlie Rodriguez truthers is that, es que en la selección no lo ponen a armar como en el Cruz Azul, por eso no ha podido brillar.
No mames, güey. No, en Cruz Azul todavía es como otro pendejo ahí adentro. He's not doing anything special. Like, granted, I will say this, he scored a fucking banger this weekend. Like, it's like when you watch a fucking someone horrible do something great. That's what Charlie did, right? It was just beautiful. It hit the goalie in the hands, bent his hands back. Like, fucking amazing. Pero that's a 1 in like fucking 30 plays, man. He's not the player that he used to be. What happened? I don't know. I know his grandma was sick for the better part of the last year. She just recently passed away. There's like all of these other things going on. Pero, güey, antes había chispas de grandeza. Ahora hay reflejos de grandeza. Y si entiendes la diferencia entre los dos, primero, chingón, güey, entiendes en español bien, you're fucking fluent, good for you. And if not, is that one is an active thing that's happening while something else is being looked at from afar in the rear view. He's already past his prime.
Yeah, I think we were assuming that Charlie Rodriguez was going to be Charlie Rodriguez and 25 other players going to the World Cup. So a bit of a heel turn to see him not even make this preliminary list. Now, let me just explain it to everybody. The Selección Nacional decided to call up 20 domestic players, obviously all from Liga MX. And of this list of 20, there was 8 with an asterisk next to their name. Let me just go over this list, starting with the goalkeepers, Raúl Rangel, Carlos Acevedo, and Oscar Garcia from León. Oscar Garcia has an asterisk next to his name. That means that they will be used as whipping boys, as fluffers, as sparring partners in this concentration camp. So they will not be going to the World Cup, but they will be considered for the next cycle. Okay, so defense, you have Luis Rey, Israel Reyes, Eduardo Aguila, Gomez, Garcia, Jesus Gallardo, Luis Romo, Eric Lira, Brian Gutierrez from Chivas, Fimbres, Gil Mora, Jairo Torres, Piojo Alvarado, Kevin Castaneda with an asterisk next to his name, Alexis Vega, Memo Martinez, Hormiga Gonzalez. So those are the 20. and there is no asterisk next to Memo Martinez's name. So does that mean he's going to the World Cup?
I'm ready. Let's get into it, Jaime, because you were spewing some Memote hate on the chat. I mean, I think this corresponds to two things. First of all, maybe Santi's not going. He's not there. So that's one of the two reasons.
That's a hot take.
Why I see Memote. Second, and I read this from I read this, and I had also thought about it myself. It's there's nobody else like Memote, another Mexican forward like Memote, practically a 6 feet forward, that you could lob a ball to when things are tight in the 90th minute and you just need somebody to fucking head it in. There's nobody like that, and Czech Republic has tall defenders. Korea has a tall defender. So like I was telling my friend, you don't need Memote. They said, "Oh, Memote doesn't start with Pumas." You don't need Memote to start. You need Memote in that moment where it's fucking 0-0 versus fucking Czech Republic, and you need that fucking you need the 2 more points to fucking get first place. You need Memote to fucking go in there. And a fucking in a tiro de esquina, somebody fucking swipes it to him, and boom, knock it in. That's all you need him for. And again, I remember, I don't know if it was La Volpe, somebody, or La Puente, somebody said that the coaches don't take the best players; they take the best players for them,
for the moment.
And obviously, Aguirre sees Memote as like I said, it could correspond to that, and it could correspond to maybe Santi is not going. But an example of a coach taking a guy that was right for him was La Puente in 98. It was Hermosillo and Burgetti, who had already, I think, a couple of scoring titles. But he took his own reliable. He took Belaez, who was already, I think he was already on the downside of his career. He was already 2 seasons out from Necaxa, and he was about to go to Chivas. And like people were scratching their head, like, why? In the World Cup, where he needed him, Belaez responded. He saw something in him. But obviously we've seen in Aguirre's World Cup history, we've seen these wild card bets don't often pay off, as we saw with Bofo in 2010. But you know what? Memote, I'm for him. I'm glad he's going to a World Cup.
Well, let me continue this conversation real quick. So again, from this list, you have 12 that have basically hole punched their ticket to the World Cup. Even like clubs have said, congratulations, Memo, you're going to the World Cup. I'm like, yo, we are still like very far away from this list being submitted to FIFA officially. Like, these are the 26 players that were taken to the World Cup. A lot can happen between now, the training camp that's going to be like 40 plus days, and the final list. So what if there's
barring an injury, they pretty much said if a player that's in a liguilla is getting called up for the camp, they're going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So the only thing that could fucking keep him out is a fucking tragic injury, and they're gonna have obviously practice and then those 2 friendlies. So Memote, I think it's he's pretty much in there. And you know what? I've heard a lot of detractors saying, "Oh, why they fucking calling why they calling the players so early? You don't see the Champions League players not playing in the Champions League, which is a stupid comparison." But you know what? It does make sense because, it's been done in the past, but particularly in this case, Mexico doesn't have a lot of guys to choose from. Like we're going through the possible guys from Europe that are going to fill up the roster, and and for that 25 and 26 spot, it's like, okay, maybe one of the injured guys. So I think that this is good. Keep especially the Chivas guys, which is like 5 of them. Keep them out of relatively try to keep them out of harm's way, because these Liga matches could be pretty rough, and just save them for the World Cup. I'm already fucking agreed. So if the owner agrees, then it's as a Chiva fan, yeah, we want to fucking see him fucking win a title, and it was a good chance. But you know what? The owner agreed, and fuck it, it is what it is.
So we have, again, from this list, 12 will be going to the World Cup, which leaves room for 14 players abroad. And I couldn't even come up with 14 players abroad. So there's Memo Ochoa, Luis Chavez, Cesar Montes, Orbelín Pineda, Edson Alvarez, Santi Jimenez, Johan Vázquez, Julián Araujo, Raúl Jiménez, Julián Quiñones, Jorge Sánchez, Fidalgo, Obed Vargas. Am I missing anyone? Like, we can't even...
No.
That's 13 players. 13 plus 12. So there's going to be one spot left. Like, who's that going to go to?
And what I was reading is like maybe they have some they have some good news on Huescas or Chino. So but I mean, that's kind of productive to what it's just that Vasco has said that if you're not playing, he's not gonna consider you. But we fucking obviously guys like Gerson have been injured, and then fucking Santi's been back and hasn't been playing. So it's like that posture that he took. It's looking pretty foolish, but like I said, that last spot is probably going to be to one of those fucking injured guys that we thought.
I forgot about.
We thought wasn't going to go.
Mateo Chavez as well. He's abroad.
Oh, yeah, Mateo Chavez. I don't know if you also mentioned Orbelín.
Yeah, I mentioned Orbelín already.
Yeah, Mateo. And more considering that they didn't take El Cotorro, so it's going to be on the left side. It's Gallardo, and it's and by the fact that they didn't take fucking Cotorro, it's going to be fucking Chavez, the second option on the left back.
Jaime, did you mention Ochoa?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so with Ochoa, so the only ones that I added that I forgot were Mateo Chavez, Huescas, and Chino Huerta. That makes it 16 players abroad. So 16 players abroad will be fighting for 14 spots. And of those, like Albert mentioned, Huescas and Chino are carrying an injury, so we don't know if they'll actually make the cut. But it looks like Aguirre has been very generous, leaving some headway for the players that are abroad. And yeah, in terms of Memo, I really don't rate him. Like, to be honest, I know he scored like a brace against Juarez, and he's been having a good season for Pumas, but that's Pumas. He's barely had I think less than 7 or 8 caps for the national team. So, I mean, he's very, very green, even greener than like Hormiga Gonzalez. And you still have...
He's 35. He's an old man. He's got old man. He's got a old man fire in him. I mean, we're not throwing in the rookie. It's a guy who's lived the soccer life. And like I told you, we don't need him to be a starter. It's just
he's probably not going to get any minutes, bro. Like, I'm being for real right now. If you look at the pecking order, it's going to be Raúl Jiménez, right? He's going to be our number 1 starter. From there, is it Julián Quiñones? And then...
Hormiga is going to be the second option. Yeah, but look, it makes fucking a lot of sense. It's 0-0 against Korea, 0-0 against fucking Czech Republic, fucking 80th minute. You fucking throw him in there. Una bola loya, and you haven't fucking poking. And it makes sense. Like I said, like these coaches is like these some of these call-ups are tactical call-ups. They don't look sexy, but it's like a good example in the NFL. Fucking Sean Payton loved him some fucking Taysom. Some what's his name? Fucking that fucking white the white guy that could play running back and quarterback. He would just throw him in. He wasn't a serviceable starter, but he could fucking throw him in there in fucking certain situations. That's how I fucking that's how I see Memote. It's just that fucking it's a fucking tie and shit's on the line. You fucking throw him in there to fucking head a ball in. You're not gonna fucking play him 90 minutes.
He's only 6'3". Like, Raúl Jiménez is 6'2".
That's a thing. And he's the tallest fucking forward Mexico has. You got, with you know what, Osorio was that was one of the things that I didn't value about Osorio. How that was his thing. He wanted the tallest team possible, and you know what? It showed in his stats. Like, yeah, he fucking ate a 7-0 against Chile, but in his whole process, he only his team's only allowed one goal in a balón parado. So you know, it says Mexico doesn't have these top players, but when you have them, you got to look for them, and you gotta see where you can make it fit in. And like I told you, I see where fucking Memota fits in.
For sure. Well, I want to hear what the rest of the panel thinks about this list. We have Lil Hattrick, we have Joel, Rifalo. Please feel free to chime in.
All right, fuck it. I'll say it. So I agree with Albert. Although I agree his process of thinking, but I mean, Memote, estamos en la chingada. If Memote goes in the 80th minute, bro, we're fucked. But here's the thing. We're especially fucked because who's going to center those balls? We got what? Jorge Sanchez?
Oh, fuck.
Gallardo? Who? We don't have, they didn't call Ledesma. They didn't call Cotorro. We're fucked. That's what really is honestly disappointing.
But little hat trick. Sorry to interrupt you. Look at all the World Cups. A bunch of teams have fucking unexpected heroes. In 2018, fucking Colombia's fucking leading goal scorer was fucking center defender that nobody knew, Jerry Mina. So you know, Memota could be that fucking. Could be.
Dude, he's not gonna get a lick of minutes, dude.
Not all World Cup heroes are fucking.
There's no way
cracks.
He's getting any minutes in the. I mean, we will have to be in super desperation mode.
We don't know. We didn't think Buffalo was gonna fucking play, and he fucking played. You don't know. It's gonna be one of those. Like I tell you, it's gonna be one of those situations where it's fucking tight, and you just need some tall motherfucker to fucking push it in. Go ahead in.
First of all, Buffalo was way better than Memote ever was.
No, but I'm just saying that nobody thought he was going to play. Like when they called him up, everybody was surprised. No. Like, what the fuck is he on the team?
And I don't even think Memote like I could see Memote scoring if he plays. I could see him scoring off a corner kick or something. Just the chiripada. That's fine. But all I'm saying is that Chivas should be the blueprint. And I'm dick riding right now. Chivas should be the blueprint. They should look at Chivas and they should see how they play, and they should have
¿Saben qué, putos? Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna come in here, güey, because you motherfuckers give me shit all the time for being in here and speaking fucking reason, quitándome la camisa. And at times when America was like gearing up in that tricampeonato run, cuando los americanistas estaban escondiendo, and I had to come in here and tell the truths. It fucking hurts, all right? It's a fucking big pill to swallow. So, Lil Hattrick, estoy contigo. Y ustedes, cállense el pincho hocico, cabrones.
Bro, I just hate it, but that's the blueprint. Vasco should have been like, holy shit, this team is playing really well. Their wingbacks are exactly the type of players that we need, and he doesn't fucking call them.
But they're playing Liga MX teams, not international sides.
Güey, muchos de estos están jugando Liga MX teams. It doesn't matter. Ledesma and Cotorro are in form. You can't tell me Gallardo is playing better than Cotorro right now in Liga MX.
I'm gonna jump in here. ¿Sabes qué, pinche anciano? ¿Quieres putazos? Yo te doy putazos, cabrón. Entonces, ¿qué me vas a decir de la selección del 98? ¿Cuántos de esos cabrones? No, espérame. Te encanta hablar del anteaño, ¿verdad? Entonces dime, ¿cuántos de esos cabrones jugaban domésticamente?
No, my thing is not that the players aren't that good. I'm just saying, using the league as like an example, it can usually backfire. Because I know what you're saying. And Aguirre did it when he took Cruz Azul. He took Pachuca players, and he did a good thing. Piojo did it when he used the America's base. But it's also backfired when they use the Toluca base. But I'm just saying, overall, seeing a team playing a certain way, it's I don't think that's a good reference to say, oh, we need to play like Chivas.
I remember Hugo used the Pachuca base and he did all right in the Copa America.
Yeah, but he had other players too. But I'm just saying, like playing style wise, like to have that style of play.
I'm with Lil Hattrick. It's like, where are you gonna get your crosses from? Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Rifalo.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I just want to hop on the Memote talk real quick, man. This guy, he's not even a starter for Pumas. And the minute they started benching him and bringing him as like a late sub for what Aguirre does, like the team got immediately better. So like this guy is, I don't know, pedestrian. He's just so bang average. The only thing is
he's not going to play 90 minutes, guys.
Strong. He's got like 9 goals in 26 matches. And there's just nothing impressive about this guy. I think there's better players out there, and I'm disappointed in his call up, in spite of his height. You know, I don't even think he's the best header. You know, I think Hormiga is better at heading the ball because he breaks the line.
Are you serious? After that goal he missed against Portugal, you saying he's a better header, better at heading balls in? Oh my God, are you serious?
You gotta. He makes more opportunities because he's able to break the line more. He's able to get the best of like the back foot of a defender better. He's just he's better all around and in heading as well.
I don't know why we're spending so much time talking about fucking Tronco, bro. I'm sorry, dude, but Memo is a fucking Tronco, dude.
Mark my words. In June, we're gonna be here fucking celebrating a fucking Memote goal.
We probably will.
Oh my God, Memote.
Oh my God, we scored. It's now 5-1 against Germany or England. I don't know.
I already know the saying, way. Memote, dame tu camote. All over Mexico.
I think he's wasted space because you're right. He's not even going to play, and he's pedestrian. Like when we need something, we need someone who's like got that spark, and this guy is just bang average.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna make it for the whipping boys. You know, I thought he was just gonna be there for support as a sparring partner. I didn't realize it was gonna fucking take him to the World Cup. Dude, we have plenty of strikers. Again, it's gonna be Raul Jimenez. Then maybe then Hormiga, then we have Quiñones, and then we have Santi, who you guys are saying he might not make the cut. He's going to the World Cup. Like he's
But the thing about Quiñones, Aguirre doesn't see him as a center forward. He plays him on the side. And then, like I said, the key here
that's at least 3 forwards before you get it.
And Santi, if Santi doesn't go, then
he's going. Who else would go, dude?
He doesn't go. Like, there's a chance he might not fucking go. He's not playing.
No, Albert, espérame, güey, espérame. Aquí está el pedo. Jaime, do you have that press release in front of you or handy by chance? Because if so, I want you to read the last paragraph. Yeah. The last paragraph tells us everything that we need to know.
Let me pull it up real quick. But keep on discussing.
Es que, güey, ahí están diciendo. It's fucking clear and simple, clear as day. They tell you. We are taking certain players with not even the goal, the intent of forwarding their progress, looking to the next World Cup cycle.
But what does that mean? Memote's 35. Memote's going to the fucking World Cup.
Well,
no, güey, pero hay otros. Hay otros abajo que también, güey, se los van a llevar.
Okay.
¿Qué es lo que vas a tener ahí?
This list is, I mean, what Abdias says is very, very true. And this is a very, very misleading statement. This is just like reading the fine print on your contract. It says that there are 12 players in Liga MX with the understanding that they will be considered for the final list of the World Cup. Doesn't mean that they're going to make it. And then it says this list does not consider.
Pretty fucking clear.
Hold on. Let me finish. They
weren't gonna do that bullshit where they fucking take them away from fucking Chivas or Cruz Azul, and then they're not gonna fucking take them. They were fucking pretty clear. I think that line about the futures or about those asterisks, guys. I think fucking Memote is gonna be on the fucking squad.
It says in this list we have not considered the group of players that come abroad that will be integrated with the definitive list on June 1st. For the other side, there are 8 players that we will consider for future cycles and are there to strengthen the group and will be there for the participation or preparation matches basically the friendlies. But they were very clear with putting an asterisk next to the players that they're not considering even taking to the World Cup. But this is not like a final set in stone list. For me, what would really piss me off is Aguirre does this fucking training camp, pulls everybody from the respective clubs that would be in Liguilla, and then in the end, he ends up deciding last minute, oh, you know what? I don't need 5 players from Chivas. I only need 3. And then they fucked us over in the Liguilla run. That's what I don't want to see fucking happen. And I can see that happening because it's fucking Aguirre and I don't trust him.
They were clear about it. That's not going to fucking happen. All those 12 guys are going to the fucking World Cup. And like I said, if the fucking guys from here, how the fuck? We can really complete the last 2 spots. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
We have our number 1 Pumas fan joining us, Tomas. Let's hear your take.
Come on, give us some mental love.
What's up, bros? Claro, porque es de Pumas. All of a sudden, he's not good enough, right? He's not good enough. He's not worthy of the call up. But I do think he's not good. But I think to Albert's point, he's not going to play the 90 minutes. But right, but I think his worth will be served as a decoy. The typical Mexican player is not 6'3", and maybe these foreign countries have not done their homework on him and might think, all right, let's place an extra attention, extra man on him, and that maybe frees up Quiñones, Raúl, or somebody else. So maybe that's it.
He's not even a starter. And Pumas is better when he's on the bench.
Like I said, Rifado, he's not gonna fucking play 90 minutes.
And one more thing, it's funny. Diaz mentioned it. That last paragraph on the FIFA release there, I think that's the national team kind of telling on themselves without saying it. So they're basically saying that the real cycle that they're focused on is on the next one. Whether it was intended to come out that way or not, that's the way I read it. And
no, I don't buy it, sir.
What have I been saying for the last fucking 3 years?
I don't think they're gonna.
No,
I don't think they're
2
gonna.
years.
I don't think they're gonna shit the bed. But I do think like the expectation within is like this is Rafa's first go at the big boys.
If
like,
that's the case, just hand it to Rafa. Why waste your time?
They are though. They are. They're.
But why?
Because
you
need to patch the boat and you need to create an air gap.
No, you don't do that if you don't think something can be salvaged.
Vasco.
That's where they brought Aguirre and pay him all that money. He didn't come for free. He's not pro bono.
Habibi, speak into your mic, bro.
Dude, I think my thing might be messed up because it's like literally right in my close to it.
No, I can hear you.
No way, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I hear you.
My bad.
Wait, just scream at it the same way you do your wife.
Wow. No, I was gonna say to Joel's point, I think Vasco is Rafa's shield. You know, it's at home. There's a lot of pressure. We said it before. Vasco's kids, they have Spaniard names. Vasco's not gonna retire in Mexico. You're never gonna see him walking down Ciudad de Mexico, somebody mentándole su madre. As soon as this thing's over, he's moving back to Spain, and then Rafa gets a
he lives in Miami
that he's been working with.
He is Spanish. I mean, he was born in Mexico, but he's Spanish.
Yeah, but he lives in Miami. That was one of the issues when they hired him back. Is like he's not going to spend time in Mexico because he fucking lives in Miami.
Wait, when he was at Rayados, was he living in Miami?
Yeah, he would travel during the week, and then his home was in Miami.
Yeah.
Now, really quickly, the whole thing that calmed all of the concerns surrounding the fact that he's based in the U.S. was, pero Rafa va a estar aquí en México. Rafa va a supervisar todo. Va a haber, los subs y todo eso. Rafa's our guy, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know about this list. You know, again, there's a lot of language in there. So I could see somebody on this list getting fucked over pretty hard. But overall, I'm pretty happy with, the players that are on this list. The biggest is the player that didn't make the list. The fact that we're not going to have Charlie Rodriguez and Chiquito Sanchez, to me, that's a victory in its own.
Dude, a loss for me is why do we not have Richie Ledesma? He did not get called up against Belgium and Portugal, and he was healthy. They said it was a coach's decision. And then that international break ended, and he was starting with Chivas again.
What I was also reading is that Araujo might be ready. So I don't know if that's an option too on the right, because on the right clearly the right back clearly belongs to fucking Reyes, and then it's fucking Jorge Sanchez, and then Ledesma in the last two friendlies hardly got any playing time. So after that, I knew he wasn't gonna be. He wasn't
called up. What do you mean?
He wasn't. He was called up.
Not Portugal, Belgium. He played against Bolivia.
No, he was called up. Let me check. Yeah, he was fucking called up.
So in the eyes of many,
I'm pretty sure they said he was not called up due to coach's decision.
So in the eyes of many, and I think including especially Vasco, he's just too lightweight off the ball. He'll get murdered by some of these, top tier physical footballers of the world.
Like Canada.
Like Canada.
Yeah, the guy in Scotland. He's just
Davies will fuck this guy up, dude. Davies will fuck this guy up. Eat this
Damn,
guy up.
bro. That Canada one. He's never gonna outlive it. It's almost as bad as the book club.
I blame Diaz.
Rifado, you think that Ledesma's like weaker than Mora?
No, but it's a different position. And so I think Ledesma, in order to thrive, he has to be a right wing back with three in the back. And even then, he's there to provide things going forward.
So
you're right. He wasn't called.
He's a defensive liability.
Well, I'll say this about Ledesma really quick. I don't know if you guys remember, but he was one of the players that Vasco was trying to talk to back when he was still at PSV, and Ledesma didn't accept the call up. Do you guys remember that?
Really?
And then Aguirre came out and he said that basically that the players that don't want to be there are not going to be there. And that was right after that. And so to me, it was surprising when he did get the call up and he played, because I was like, oh, I thought he was going to be out. But he got the call up once he joined Chivas.
And then after I think one of the Bolivia games, somebody asked him about how he finally decided to play for Mexico, to switch, and then he contradicted Aguirre. He said, no, that's not what happened. So I don't know if that could have been an issue.
Could be. I think the biggest surprise from this list is Brian Gutierrez, dude. I mean, he was kind of like on nobody's radar when he was playing for the MLS. He comes to Chivas and he gets called up to the national team. Now he's going to the World Cup. Like, this is crazy.
FC Gordito had him in his radar.
Yeah.
Just saying.
He's the only one, bro. He's the only believer.
You know what?
No one took him serious.
His rise was crazy quick, but like he had an immediate impact like on the field. Whenever he's on there, I know Milita keeps him on a short leash because of his defensive liabilities, and it's just kind of crowded in Chivas right now. Like,
and he's
not even a starter.
He wasn't a starter.
He started over the weekend.
Yeah.
He wasn't a starter. He probably just like Memota's not a starter. But you know what? With the national team, they found him a place.
This guy's really young, dude. He's got a big upside.
I like this energy. I like the energy. Yeah.
Good interview. Yeah. The cariton.
I think what helped him was the Marcel injury and the fact that Mora was pretty much missing in action for a couple months, so that kind of helped him get that call up, and then he just, and you know what? Sometimes when you get an opportunity, you got to take it, and he did, and that's why he's gonna go to the World Cup. These tough guys are gonna go to the World Cup, and I have them in the World Cup. So
I like.
Also just want to add to what you're saying, because we go off of how we're seeing some players at their clubs, but then when they go to the national team, the coach has them playing in a different position or just different and they end up, just looking better. Gio is a really good example of that.
Well, you know what? Luis Hernandez wasn't that much with Necaxa or with Puebla and Necaxa, but for some reason, fucking Bora and fucking La Puente fucking call him, and he fucking showed up for them.
But I'll add just quick to that because you were talking about La Puente earlier, and so when Bora does the team for '97 Copa America and he takes Luis Hernandez, he was getting killed for not taking other strikers. And Luis Hernandez ends up winning the leading goal scorer, which was impressive. But he's competing with Romario and Ronaldo. Huh? Yeah,
Luis was already on his radar. Luis started getting called up when Bora took over for fucking Baron in late '95 because I remember he debuted against Yugoslavia and Monterrey, so he was on his radar. But there was fucking other. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they lose 1-0. No, I think it was raining. They lose 1-0.
Yeah, it was an ugly game. Yeah. With that uniform with the fucking big M. Yeah.
That country doesn't exist no more. They became like.
Oh. Did I lose everybody? Can you hear?
I'm still here.
I'm here. Okay. I'm here. I think
they
Joel
cut him as soon as he said the country doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, yeah. They got to him.
Oh, shit.
Let's talk about Marcel Ruiz, right? This kid tore his ACL, and the second he did, he's like, I'm going to this World Cup on one leg if I need to, and really expedited his recovery, did everything to put it all on the line. And even then, Aguirre's like, no. No, I'm not taking you.
Hey, if he would have gone to Brazil, this would have not happened. He would have not played on the fucking turf, and he would have got injured. It's a fucking snowball of fucking bad decisions.
The thing about him missing the World Cup is that I think it's probably a net benefit for Mexico because Fidalgo just slotted in perfectly, and I think he's better all around.
Ooh.
So unfortunately, I won't miss him. But off the bench, depth, squad depth, I think he definitely would have added that.
Espérate. Mister, yo mamo a los jóvenes, que quién sabe qué, el talento nacional, y pues, I don't know, I submit my reports from an island.
If they're not under 25, I don't want them.
Oh my God.
He has a special fucking sticker that says too old. No, perdón. Dice official seal approval by el rifado. Pero, nonetheless, el pedo aquí, güey, es que se la estás mamando a un extranjero que viene a quitarle un puesto a un nacional, pero a la misma vez me estás enseñando la doble moral de que estás aquí semana tras semana mamando a los jovencitos.
I mean, there's jovenazos that I want to play for the national team, and that I'm very happy that are going. Someone like Mora, Hormiga, I'm their biggest advocate. But I also see the glaring hole in midfield, and I don't think Luis Chavez is going to fill it. I think Ruiz was falling in form for a while. I thought he was better last year, and now he's injured, and it's probably for the best that he doesn't go, for his own safety, and the quality of midfield. I think it drops when you got someone who's shook or scared of tearing his ACL. I don't know. It didn't spell anything good. It's circumstance more than anything.
Now I want to see what he actually does. Is he going to go get surgery now that they turned him away?
He's probably going to play tomorrow.
Nah, man. He has to go under the knife. Otherwise, he's just damaged goods.
At this point, Toluca has a game against LAFC, and they're also in Liguilla. Obviously, Turco Mohamed had no hesitation about putting him back in the roster. So, at this point, who knows, man?
You know what? Here's a hot take. I have a feeling Marcel Ruiz had hesitation himself, hence why he committed that stupid-ass foul and got a red as soon as he got subbed on.
Oh, that's right. He did get a red card.
As soon as he gets subbed on, boom, red card. Like goes in for a hard tackle and he's out. So maybe that's what it is. También a lo mejor soy medio pendejo. Pero lo más importante aquí, güey, que a mí me interesa es la contundencia del Vasco. Porque hace, like 2 months ago, he said, la selección nacional no es un hospital. No estamos aquí para llevar a gente que está herida. No estamos aquí para que la gente se recupere. So, hey, if he's playing on fucking crutches, why would you take him?
Hey, does that apply to everybody though?
Yeah, because there's a bunch of players injured.
Does it apply to Edson? How many minutes have Edson and Santi played in the last 4 or 5 months?
I think I got more minutes than they do.
And that's the thing. That's why, as of right now, that's why there's that caveat of like this list doesn't include the Europeans.
That's the thing.
We're gonna wait on them.
That's my issue with
that's
this
over
list.
half of our fucking squad.
My issue with this list is he's saying one thing, but then doing another, right? Oh, we're only taking the players that are not injured. This isn't a hospital. This isn't a place to do your recovery. But he's allocating 14 spots to players abroad. That's more than the domestic players. And a lot of those players are banged up or not even playing at all. Why would you allocate so many spots for players that are not even active? That's what I don't get.
All of these moves,
there's not a lot to choose from to begin with.
All of these moves and the Memote call-up just indicate to me that fucking this guy's mental health is declining, man. He's doing the Joe Biden route. No. And it's up to Rafa to do the Ides of March and fucking golpe de estado and take over, dude. Because these moves, they're scaring me, man. All this shit, I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Rifado, if Santi can't fucking go, if he doesn't fucking take him, who do you want? Berterame or fucking, who do you want, Berterame or Memote?
Oh, Berterame, way better than Memote.
He's
finally scoring. He's finally fucking scoring.
God, against fucking
Messi's a ball washer.
Bro, first of all, Berterame ni es mexicano el cabrón.
Oh.
He's a Messi fanboy. Y ahora hasta el mismo Messi lo está llevando la fregada. He's telling him, get the fuck off the club. So, just out of principle, I'm gonna have to revoke your Mexican card, Tifal. you have to. It's funny though, the Memote thing. I think he's pretty much trash, but I do think that.
But he's Mexican trash.
He's Mexican. What's that meme with the fucking opossum? Es mi basura, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's our trash.
It's our trash.
And he's our tall trash. Yeah. And he's a tactical piece that can maybe come to.
He's a fucking tronco, man. I don't know why people are fucking rating. Dude, he's just tall. That's it, man.
He serves a purpose. It's a tactical color.
Are you like related to him?
Is ready to
no, it's just that I fucking seen it. I seen what, like I saw what fucking Peláez in 98. ¿Por qué lo lleva? Why is he fucking taking him? Fucking there's Burguetti, there's Hermosillo. And what do you know? He fucking tosses in there when when shit.
He scored against Korea.
And he scores.
Memote's gonna score against Korea.
I hope all our listeners find Jaina as loyal as Albert is to
I know, bro.
I'm not even a fucking Pumas fan. I just fucking.
He just likes them tall.
I could just fucking.
He just likes them tall.
I could see this fucking color.
For the record, Memote es de Cruz Azul y nosotros fuimos lo que se los vendimos.
Are you serious?
There you go. Claim them.
So, you're welcome.
Dude.
Claim them like the Americanistas claim they claim fucking Raúl, they fucking claim for Hidalgo, they fucking claim fucking Jorge Sanchez, even though he's not for fucking America, but they fucking like to fucking claim all those guys.
No, it's nomás la cantera. He was part of our scraps. We fucking offloaded him.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Do you guys remember a player named Luis Madrigal? He was a fucking. He's like Memote 2.0, bro. He was a big, tall fucker. He played for Rayados, and then we ended up getting him on loan because we gave Zaldivar to Rayados as part of the intercambio. And I remember seeing this dude in person. I'm like, this guy is a fucking tronco, bro. Just a walking, like, trash player. And I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. He's just clunky. I don't know about Memo. I know he's scoring goals for Pumas, but yeah, maybe we'll throw him in as a Hail Mary. Like, again, we're trying to get into the next round. He
scored in the Copa America. I think he was like the only forward that fucking scored.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Can we talk? I don't know if you guys already covered this, but can we talk about briefly Santi?
Yeah.
How much of a disappointment that kid has been? Like, he's supposed to be at this point in his career, he was supposed to have been in form, ripping it at AC Milan. Instead, he's injured, questionable. Like, people are questioning his heart, his dedication.
The team doesn't want him.
Yeah, like his own team doesn't want him. Like, even in the national team, he hasn't risen up to his opportunities. It almost seems like his head and his heart are not in it. I don't know. It's disappointing because right now it's like we wouldn't be having this conversation if that kid, did his thing. Not that the entire, success of the national team lays on his shoulders, but it's just disappointing.
Yeah, Santi couldn't be like the opposite situation of Memote and Hormiga Gonzalez. He's having the worst crash at the worst moment. Like, he could have fell into a slump last year, and if he would have, picked up his form or not got injured, we would be praising him right now. But yeah, the reality is his move to AC Milan was a big gamble. Everybody was excited, but I knew that it was going to be a bad move based on, how other players at Milan have done. And, it's really unfortunate because this is the time when, we look back 4 years ago and how he got snubbed by Tata. And we're like, we can't believe that, you snubbed him. Now it's like the opposite. Now we're like, dang, if he was not to make the roster, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
You know what? Really quickly, I'm going to come in here. Hold on, Rafael. I'm going to let you finish, all right? Pero primero, esos putos están aquí hablando mal de mi Santi, carnal, ¿eh? Ese es mi puto canterano. Y con él no se me meten.
Right? Just because he has blue eyes. And
guys, can I be honest? Can I be honest real quick? Look. Sometimes I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Like sometimes I light a candle. Maybe some incense, make some tea. It's late night. I'm decompressing. I hop on Twitter. I find Chemos, praising Hormiga. They're praising Hormiga, and they're like, "Oh, Raúl Jiménez, this and that." And I just love chiming in with some Santi hate. I'm like, yeah, I know he's so much better than Santi already. Santi's trash. And bro, watching them fight back is so funny, bro. I get off to that. I ain't gonna lie.
Mira, ¿sabes qué, puto? Como quiera. Me vale verga. Mira, you're not gonna come in here and besmirch my Santi, all right? First thing that I'm gonna say right off the rip, fuck AC Milan. That was a bad move. And just like you said, güey, the thing is, AC Milan is a hot piece of shit.
Yep.
Y ahorita, güey, está echando patadas de ahogado. All right? Like, that's what's happening with AC Milan.
Bro, he was supposed to go in there and turn the tide. That's the thing.
No.
Bro, yes, it's an institutional thing in Milan. Like, it's just, you can't have that many top caliber players and have them all get chewed out.
Aren't they American owned?
They are American owned.
Yes.
But I just want to quote Alegre on Santi and the striker situation just 2 days ago. He says, so he played Leao, Rafael Leao, a Portuguese left winger, fast as fuck, black dude that plays for Portugal. They played him as a striker in the last game. And he said, we all enjoy when Leao runs free, but we don't have a real 9. So he plays there and still manages to create opportunities. And so he's got like 3 strikers that he basically just said, fuck these guys. and Santi's one of them. And so, he's not having a good time. I think he's going to have less than 100 minutes as the season ends. It's just, if Vasco really meant that he's not going to take anyone who's on one leg, then Santi has no business going. And I'm a Santi fan. I think he's really good. Like at attacking space, I would love him to go, over fucking El Muerto Memote.
And what, bro? You just have a man crush on him. Be honest.
He's good. He's good.
I'll say one thing about Santi. When he signed for Milan, I said it was a high-risk move because, one, Serie A is not known for having high goal-scoring strikers. Like, if you look at right now, their number 1 striker has 16 goals. Second place has 12. And they both play for Inter. So all the other goal scorers in the league, they're scoring 12 goals or less. So in today, PSG Bayern, there's 4 goals in the first half. The last 7 games between Milan and Juventus has had 4 goals. It's just a league that does not score a lot of goals. Like you can get on Google on a random weekend, just look at the scores, a bunch of 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, 0-0. It's just a league that does not feed strikers. Cristiano went over there, he struggled to score like for the first 5-6 games. It's a very defensive league, and it shows
y
with the
luego, ¿qué
national
pasó?
team.
Well, I mean,
With who?
Ronaldo, dude.
Well, that's
Well, all right.
Cristiano, man. The guy's about to hit
Yeah.
1,000 goals. But the point is that even he struggled, and it's just not a league that feeds strikers.
I mean,
look at their national team. When's the last time you had
yeah.
a great Italian striker?
The
Also,
Serie A has fell off
Juve
the
broke financial fair play rules during the Cristiano years. So there was that shit.
So, Zlatan Ibrahimovic said when leaving MLS to go to AC Milan, he said, I went to a bad Milan and won the league. And so like a good player will find a way.
Oof.
And Jimenez, like,
you're putting Santi and comparing him to Ibra.
They're in the same conversation because they're both strikers for Milan, or they were.
No,
Ibrahimovic retired. And Ibrahimovic.
Okay, for the record, you're taking that quote out of context. You're taking that quote massively out of context. Please say what the first half of that quote is, because you're just saying the last bit.
Well, he's shitting on MLS. He's like, I don't even count at my MLS goals. Like, fuck Vela. He said a bunch of shit.
I was here on vacation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed their money, but I would like to have the goals that I scored at MLS stricken from my record.
Oh my God, he said that?
Yeah.
Wow, dude, Zlatan he's the GOAT, bro. He's so funny.
But he goes from MLS to Milan and he wins the league. He hits the ground running, and Santi wasn't able to do that. And that's what the best strikers in the world do. And Santi failed at that, right? And he should have added shit to his game.
But
like
Santi's never been that guy.
Well, he's young. He's young. It's like good players add stuff to the game.
He wasn't even that guy at Cruz Azul. He wasn't that guy at Feyenoord. So you really think he's going to do it at Milan?
He did play center attacking midfielder for Chemos, and he had some assists.
Yeah, but Santi's he's like a supporting actor. He's not going to be the guy that puts the team on his back and wins you titles. He obviously had a good run at Feyenoord, but it's the Dutch league. I mean, fucking Josie Altidore scored like 50 goals there. It's, you know what I mean?
Bro, I'm almost there. Come on, keep going.
I'm just saying, like,
no, bro, like,
he's limited. He's limited.
Me encanta, cabrón. Síguele.
Después de lo que decían de Henry Martin, bro, like, fuck, dude, this is like music to my ears. En Reddit me puteaban, güey. Me decían, esos güeyes decían que Santos iba a ir por 100 millones. Y yo les decía, están pendejos. ¿Cuándo van a comprar un pinche mexicano por tanto? And they were like, no, bro, he's scoring. He's elite. He's world class. I'm like, bro, that little, what'd you call it? A fisherman league? That's what that is, bro.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that league is.
Exactly. Fisherman's league. Not to disrespect it. I mean, obviously, great players like the phenomenal Ronaldo. He started there at PSV. Like, there's a whole. I mean, it's the Luis Suarez.
Look at Memphis Depay. He fucking sucks.
I think Santi.
That's great developmental league.
Santi is. He just needs to go back to scoring and getting minutes, and that's not going to happen. Serie A. That was a marketing move. It's a U.S. owned AC Milan now. They knew they had the Captain America, and they're like, this guy's very marketable. He's one of the rising stars in the Mexican league. Let's buy him and sell some jerseys. And they knew exactly what they were doing. And even on the national team, he's in all the commercials and all the posters because he's a white-skinned Mexican with blue eyes, and I think they're just whoring him out, bro. But he's gonna go to the World Cup to sell tickets and for marketing reasons, but I don't think he's gonna be somebody that we can rely on.
Hey, for the record, it's not Captain America, it's Captain Raya. All right, and if you don't know what Raya is, it's just because you're broke.
I don't know what Raya is, bro.
Isn't that the dating app?
It's the dating app for the elite, bro.
Oh, it's the dating app thing. Oh, that's hilarious.
I thought that was Ashley Madison.
Klay Thompson's listed on that app. But he's
I'm listed on Chispa. I don't know if that thing's around.
Chispa.
¿Sabes qué, güey? I was on Christian People Meet, pero es nomás porque me gusta, just to drag them down to my level.
Diaz probably knows this. How many R's are there in Grinder?
¿Sabes qué, güey? I want to throw like 3, pero me da miedo to be right. I don't know.
Because I just downloaded it. I don't know.
You know what? I don't know. It came pre-installed on my phone. Why is it on my Apple TV? I don't know. Pero pues, nomás pasa, ¿verdad? No te preocupes.
But only on weekends. Only on weekends.
No, wait. Only when I travel. And the thing is, you cancel the premium subscription before the 3-day trial is over. That's the move, boys.
And if you don't get any matches on Grinder, then we have the instruction manual. You get the rope, or what is it? The belt and the lemon? What was the?
Oh, dude, come! That's just a rookie move. All right. Every now and then, do we have to put out this PSA? Because I don't want to see my gooners die out there. All right. So here's the deal: if you're into autoerotic asphyxiation, the trick is, it's not so much about the belt, it's not so much about the news, it's not any of that. What it is that when you're practicing this joy of life, what you want to do is you want to put a lemon in your mouth. In case things start to slip a little bit out of control, when you start to choke, your body will tense up and you'll like clamp down, at which point you will bite down on the lemon, which will help you regain your senses. And hopefully you didn't kick the chair too far away.
There you go.
Moral of the story here is, when you check into a hotel, ask them for lemon slices.
I don't know why I imagined the whole lemon. I imagined the whole
Little Hatchick hadn't heard that one yet.
Bro, can we just like shit talk Charlie some more? Like, I feel like we moved on too quickly, bro.
All right, it's too soon for Lil Hatchick. Once we hit the top of the hour, we'll get into the dark side of Cantina. Let's talk about Atlante. This project is getting really exciting. They announced, they haven't announced, they've teased what looks like to be the Mexican Barney Rubble coaching next season, a.k.a. Piojo Herrera. He's back at the helm, coaching Atlante. What year is this?
Espérate. Just to bring in some current news that just happened. Línea de Cuatro is on air right now, and they just did the live announcement of Piojo Herrera being the head coach.
Wow.
Like, he's part of their panel.
Oh, shit.
He used it and he announced it. Y ya tenían la foto and everything in the background.
Wow.
So,
hey,
it's official, boys and girls.
Didn't they also have Larcamón on the show the day he got fired? Like the day after he got fired?
The day after, yeah, the day after.
Llorando como una
What did he say?
Vieja, güey. He blamed the fans.
He blamed the fans?
He was like, I don't know what was happening. We were, we had good results. All of this was going on. And then, the media, the fans, everything just took a time that we talked about this topic. I didn't want to say que le tendieron la cama. Pero after seeing the performance that they put in, it's hard to say otherwise, man.
It's pretty obvious that they did.
But here's what I will say. All right. The team didn't look amazing. It wasn't like a day and night, right? The difference was the players, which I guess now that I think about it and I say it out loud, the players played their fucking role. They did what they were supposed to do. And if you have players that are able to get you that result, when the instructions are as simple as go out there and do what you know what to do, soy un pendejo si no digo que le tendieron la cama.
But how do you want to keep them motivated, man? It's hard to keep foster kids motivated when you move them from home to home to home. Like, what do you want these Cruz Azul players to do?
You know what, my dear sir? You can go fuck yourself. Pero ahorita regreso para tener esos vergazos.
Hey, and speaking of tendiendo la cama, you also have another team that's like the opposite of that. Monterrey, we all said que le tendieron la cama to their coach. I think he was Spaniard. And he leaves, and they're still shit. Santos beats them 3-0. So are they just shit all over?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's coaching. They brought up the guy from the second division. I think he played for Monterrey, and they announced Sergio Canales is gone. So
something's broken over there.
Something's broken over there. I think Monterrey, when they hire players, they sell them on the paycheck, and that's it. Because when they show up for the actual team, they choke the bet against Tigres, they choke the bet in Liguilla, like all around. Any player they bring in, they just give them big money, and that's it. There's nothing else to show for it.
Yeah, Rayados it needs to be studied, the fall off. I know they announced Canales' departure on Twitter, so he's not renewing his contract. He's leaving as a free agent. I know Sergio Ramos left last season or last year. So something at Monterrey is broken. Obviously, none of their players got called up for the preliminary list. They're not in Liguilla, so it's a nice vacation for them, I guess.
They're like America, dealt with injuries, bad signings. Marshall, like he was separated from the club for a little bit. I don't know if he's played since, but it reminds me a little bit of what happened with Saint Maximin. And I don't know, bro. I guess the difference might be the coaching, because America is playing like shit. They dealt with injuries of these players that I don't know where they were just like, fuck it, we're leaving, and then we could see one made it to Liguilla, the other one didn't. The one made it crawling, after a bad semester. But I'll say this: shout out to America, man. They looked around the league. They're like, fuck, we had a down year. We're struggling. We're in Liguilla, so let's give the fans what they want, what they deserve: a show, a super clásico. Y luego hubo un equipo pendejo que they didn't do what they were supposed to do, y después de estar mamando, pues mamaron. So now we have a clásico capitulino. America did their job, is all I'm saying.
Yes, I'm glad that you bring that
bro.
up.
Why does everyone have issues with that word? Capitalino. No es tan difícil, cabrones.
¿Qué dije?
Capitaluno.
Puta madre.
No mames.
Capitalismo, güey.
That's my bad, bro. I'm drinking.
I did.
Good for you.
I'm glad that you bring that up, because it is something that pissed me off. Chivas had 2 matches to secure first place, and they failed. They failed against Necaxa.
They choked.
I think it was Milito just resting, rotating players. Wale got the start, and they failed to score. And then they failed to score over the weekend. And, Tijuana had something to play for. They could have squeezed into the 8th spot, but they didn't want it either. So it was a weird circumstance. And I think the two painful things. Number one, just not the bragging rights, because guess what? We did tie Pumas on points. So we both hold on to that record of the most points in a short season of 18 matches. But obviously with Pumas getting the differential, they're number 1. So that really hurt. And then also the fact that Hormiga was battling toe-to-toe with Joao Pedro, and in the end, Joao Pedro gets the pichichi. So, Hormiga getting cold at the worst moment, I think that's also very painful to see.
That's what I was going to say, bro. Le temblaron las piernas. That's what it was, because I don't know if you guys remember last season, but he scored, right? Like, he got it to where, like, he tied Paulinho. And then Toluca played after, and they had a penalty, and Paulinho gave it up. He didn't shoot it.
Yep.
And this time he was like alone, and he had all, like you said, he had like basically the road to success, right? He was about to do it back to back, and he hasn't scored since, bro. And this is who you guys won at the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. I'm a little worried.
Well, the other controversial thing in that final match against Tijuana was the handball. I'll be honest, I didn't think it was a handball. Yes, there was contact, but it was not intentional. It was just, his body just happened to be there. The ball, it wasn't even like a shot or anything. It was just a bunch of it was like a ping ball like shot. You know, it was just ricocheting everywhere. And I was surprised that the referee initially called it a PK, and then she didn't have the balls, literally didn't have the balls to stand on business. She overturned it. And, you know, I think that would have been Hormiga's chance to at least tie Joao Pedro, get the victory, secure first place. But in the end, we ended up with we pulled the Arsenal. And, you know, that's very unfortunate.
Pero no mames, güey. You're talking out of both ends. All right. She made the right call. It wasn't a penalty. You believe so. Y luego hablas con la camisa de que no, nos hubieran dado ese penal.
It's like, no, I'm saying like
no mames,
she didn't stand on business. She overturned it. So
isn't that what you want out of your ref when it's like, hey, you know what? It was an unintentional handball. I fucked up the way the rules are supposed to be interpreted. Let's shake this off. Let's keep the game going.
She gave in both times. She gave in to the pressure of it's a handball and everybody's calling for it. Okay. And then she gave in again when she saw the replay and said, oh, you know what? It wasn't a handball. So this is someone that's going to be, you know, representing Mexico in the World Cup. And, you know, I think everyone in the chat has a crush on her. And it's like, yo, we got to put that aside and be objective and say, I don't know if she's ready for prime time. I don't know if she's ready for the World Cup.
But wait, it's not just that. Dale.
I do have a crush on her, but and I'm going to put it to the side, man. And I'm going to say this.
Just rub it out. Just rub it out, and then you'll come to your senses. You'll be like, you know what?
She made the right call, bro. She
did.
The way she did, it was perfect. It's like, oh, that looks like a penalty, like clear handball. Okay, I'll call it. And then it's like, oh, let's review it. Perfect. Let's be sure. She goes, reviews it. She sees that it bounces off a part that's not illegal and inadvertently touches his arm, which is in an unnatural position. So per the rules, like that was the right call. And so I don't see the controversy. It was unfortunate. But Chivas.
Es que es una vieja, güey. How do you not see the controversy? She's not in the kitchen making tortillas y frijoles.
You're right. I don't see the just controversy. There is no just controversy. It is just.
I think the one thing that is controversial is that, you know, she studied at UNAM and it just happened to work out that by not calling this PK, Pumas end up in first place.
No mames, güey. No mames. That's tinfoil fitted type shit. It just
happens.
Abdias, bro, you can't. Don't do that. Porque if it was la escuela de Televisa or something, you would be on here saying that there's what's it called, like a conflict of interest y que no sé qué.
No. Okay, hold on. No. Okay, espérate. Before you start fucking throwing mud and trying to do this shit, también, güey, I too would double team her with Rifado. Pero aquí está la cosa, güey. She has done a good job at every single game that she's had, or at least a decent enough job to where this level of scrutiny isn't merited. This isn't like El Gato Ortiz. This isn't like some other refs that we know for a fact have a bias every single time that they step onto the pitch. For her, ¿sabes qué, güey? Puede que esté pendeja. ¿Y sabes qué? Te lo doy, porque es una vieja. Pero como quiera, güey, está haciendo un buen trabajo. Now, I do recognize the conflict of interest within Pumas. I don't think she should be allowed to do another Pumas match.
Yeah.
Like that's a very hard line. And I really do think like la Comisión de Árbitros, la Federación, everybody has to look at that itself. Right? Other than that, I don't have an issue with her. Now, El Gato Ortiz, güey. Ese puto ni lo quiero ver pintado, güey.
I also have to say, look, we should not had to rely on that call to secure first place, to secure 3 points for Omega to get the goal scoring record. I think it's pretty pathetic. We should have secured it our own way. I mean, it was Necaxa and Tijuana. It's not like we were playing against Tigres again, you know? So going into Liguilla this way is kind of like foreshadowing what we are going to expect once Liguilla kicks off. And the other question I have with all these players getting called up and will have to report for duty on May 6th, will coaches even use these players for the first leg on Saturday or Sunday?
Jaime, you know why you feel this way? Porque Chivas no es el más grande. You know, when you're not the mafia and you just put your dick on the table, you feel like it's pathetic, bro.
What? I don't know.
That's why. That's why you would like if you had years of success of just being like, yo, this is the best team, the greatest team ever, you would be like, fuck it.
No, I think my frustration is like, look, the chances of us winning the league are very slim, and especially now that they announced the 5 players that we're losing. So it would have just been like a nice feather in our cap to say, well, before all that dismantling, we secured first place and we had the top goal scorer. But we don't have that. So for me, that's the big bummer. Is like we can't even talk about that. But who knows? Maybe these young crop of players might surprise us. Negro Sandoval and Samir Inda and all these other players that have been hungry and been trying to grind out some minutes. Yael Padilla, Camberos. You never know. But it does hurt us because the other teams remaining, like Tigres, they didn't lose anybody, right? Toluca. Who did Toluca lose? I don't think they lost anybody.
Bro, no, Jaime, don't do this, bro. Come on. You were just talking about her not standing on business. You got to stand on business too, bro. This was not how you were talking a month and a half ago. Like,
he said he was going to bookmark it, man. I'm waiting to cash that check in at the end of the season. Because as of right now, before Liguilla starts, there's already a fuck ton of copium.
Yep.
Bro, he's acting all humble and shit. Nah, we not doing that.
Hold on.
There was cash shit being spoken on air, and it's on the record.
Yeah,
I want to make a case for this Chivas team that is being robbed by the Selección. And I'm all for it because, I'm Selección over Chivas, but Chivas I do love. And in these last two games, we didn't let in a goal. And it looks like we're going to keep Ledesma and Cotorro.
Yeah.
And so, like, the defensive block, our most important part, is looking good, right? We're going to lose Romo, but I think we look better without him. I think Campillo needs to be the libero. And then Aguirre has got I think a touch and go injury. I hope he's back soon because he's great. And then, our midfield of Govea and also is untouched. So, like, we have this defensive block that we can build upon. And then we have the young starlets who are just waiting to just blossom. And so I'm very hopeful. I don't think we're going to win it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the kids can do with such a great defensive block built by Melito.
Spoken like a true chomo, and I too am excited as to what the young kids can do.
Except those young kids for you are primas.
There's a fucking special place in hell for people like Diaz.
The scum of earth.
I really hope he's trolling, bro. That's fucking dark, dude. He's in the Epstein files.
Hey, man, I think this Chivas Tigres is going to be like that Pachuca game from that World Cup cycle as well, where the kids will show up. They'll play a lot better than we expected compared to that, 4-1 ass beating Tigres gave us a few weeks ago. But there'll be heartbreak at the end, those final minutes, because this Tigres team is stacked. And then as far as that whole Selección before Chivas, fuck that, man. They have them 45 days early for
dude.
what? To do commercials? Imagine any other country right now, they say, like, hey, you can't play the Champions League final because you got to go 45 days early with Germany and France.
Nah, but they do it because they're hosts.
No other host nation has done that shit. And they done it before when they were not
hosts. We've done this
hosts.
before, and we've got nowhere with
They
it.
did it in 2006, and the players complained. But they had it for fucking 2 months. The players were complaining that it wore on them mentally.
Yeah, dude. There's a such thing as called overtraining, dude.
I mean, you're playing for the national team, but at the same time, you're coworkers, man. Something about like sleeping in your own bed.
But also in the past,
You don't want to be seeing the same guys every day for 45 days.
So we usually allow that. Like, they have the family day and they bring them in. And so like the selección already does that. But where the Mexican has historically, fucked up is that they go look for, the hose.
Bro, I was gonna say the orgies are gonna be legendary.
But was it Peralta? He was on a podcast and he's like, yeah, the pedas were fucking good sometimes, man. Like that shit.
Yeah, but Peralta it was with the fat guy Polo. So Polo, he was pressing him. He went on the pedas. Then he started asking him about the ladies, and that's when fucking Peralta got all fucking uncomfortable. Like, los muchachos allá, los solteros la llevaban, but Polo kept on fucking pressing him, and then you could tell fucking Peralta was ready to fucking get him.
Wait, Polo doesn't have like that touch to him. You know who does? Yozgat.
The gordo?
Yeah, el gordo.
Yeah, check it out. He wants he I guess he wants to do a podcast, and his first guest was fucking was Peralta, and he just kept on pressing him on the chicks, and fucking Peralta was all uncomfortable.
Here's el pedo, güey. It's like he has screen presence, but bro has no aura. Polo.
Hey, Polo the fucking antagonist. He knows how to fucking rile up the people. Le llama, miren mis niños, or when he fucking talks about fucking nailing chicks and shit like that, and him being like fucking. And you know what? The shit that he does with Canelo is pretty fucking hilarious.
Pix del Gordo and all that. The shit he does with Adrian Marcelo, like what he does is fucking great, dude. I love it, but his style.
But check out that interview. He made fucking Peralta squirm.
And that's the thing. You know who doesn't do that and gets you all the juice? Yozgat.
Yeah,
Yozgat, el reportero.
Yozgat's a player, and this guy's a fucking shit starter.
And that's a key difference, right? Pero cuando estás con Yozgat, güey, escuchas que todos dicen, los terceros tiempos son los mejores tiempos.
Like when I would go do interviews with boxers, I fucking ask him about the training camp, and some fucking idiot ask him, fucking where can we buy your shirts? It's a totally different fucking interviewer, and you're gonna get different results.
Exactly. So con Yozgat, they're a little bit more open to talk about it, but one of the things is, and you have to hear how they refer to it, is el tercer tiempo fue el mejor tiempo. And they always tell the stories, but they stop like halfway through so that you can continue it.
Polo got him like a fan, like if you were fucking, like let's say fucking you or Habibi were fucking, hey, ¿cómo estuvieron las morras? Se las poncharon así. He fucking came up with him like that.
Se las poncharon. No, güey. La pregunta es.
Saying, though. You could, I think, look, man, like if we got Carlos Salcido in here, right? I think Diaz could like finesse that travesaño talk, like real easy, real smooth. He'll get hella comfortable, like.
I mean, bro, I've lived in the Pacific Northwest enough.
He'll tell me how he's done it himself too. He'll tell us a story.
As someone else who's lived in the PNW, if you're not comfortable with travesaños, well, you're not going to be able to survive up there.
Oh my God.
I love the dolls, bro.
Did anybody ever see that clip from the 2002 World Cup on Televisa where fucking, I think Joao has, where they have Ruggeri and they have El Compayito, and El Compayito starts fucking putting them all on blast for fucking going to a Japanese fucking whorehouse or whorehouse, and then he tells fucking Ruggeri, oh, a ti te llamaban el mago de las parrandas cortas, and fucking Ruggeri's laughing, but he fucking goes and he tries to fuck up Compayito, but then fucking Sage fucking Rose, you guys should look for that clip. That's fucking hilarious.
You know what they say about entre broma and broma?
Exactly. Yeah, he knew it was true. And then I don't know who. I think that the comedian, the I forgot his name, that does El Compayito, said that they would go to like in between like after the shift, or before the shift, because they would work during the midnight over there. They would go to this bar where with a bunch of skinny Japanese girls. So they would get drunk after one beer. So and then he said that they would have their ways with them. So that's where. So but the thing is that he fucking brought that joke on national TV. So
was Perro Bermudez part of that coverage?
Oh yeah, Bermudez was, I think, fucking the Bianchi fucking.
Perro talks about that a little bit during his interview. I want to say dude, it's been fucking years at this point, close to like 4 years ago, while he was doing his farewell tour on Mother Sucker podcast, and he says that Japan was one of the best trips that he's ever had.
Damn.
That there's a lot of stories there that he can't tell.
Damn.
Yeah, well, all the ladies they had in the bar.
See, and like that's the thing, wait. A lot of like the news, the nitty gritty that you get, you have to source it from different places. Like, let's be honest, like el mame que está pasando con Fighterson ahorita, güey, is one of the best things on the internet.
Yeah, can you explain that one to me? So they had some kind of like, what was it, So they had the voting for the annual fucking International Soccer Hall of Fame in Pachuca, and somebody thought it was a fucking good idea to have fucking Faitelson, Jose Ramon, Oden Ciani, and fucking Alvaro Morales in the same room. So I
Bro,
guess
that's a fucking powder keg. Pero espérate, güey. Dale. Y ahorita les doy la historia.
Well, I was gonna go into it, but this is what happened. So they're gonna give Orbañanos a lifetime achievement award, and fucking Jose Ramon's up there because he worked with Jose Ramon. But then Faitelson is gonna present him. So fucking Jose Ramon sits down. And then fucking, I guess Faitelson sees that, and he makes it about himself, and he goes and he fucking tells them, I'm sorry, if I ever said something that offended you, you were like a father to me. So in that moment, fucking Alvaro interrupts, and he tells him, well, you call him a cokehead, and then fucking.
Oh, really? He said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, bro, it's fucking wild.
And then the Faitelson is Alvaro, por favor. So he fucking goes and he shakes his hand, and then after fucking Ciani, fucking who's butthurt, fucking confronts fucking Faitelson and tells him like, you used to rob my shit, and all I'm asking you is for respect and an apology and shit like that.
Damn.
So a huge fucking circus.
Wow.
See, that's why Alvarito is that's why, bro, he's needed, dude. He keeps it real. whatever y'all think about his little character, you gotta admit it's funny. You gotta admit
it is funny. It's entertainment.
Espérate, güey. Pero first of all, before we go into that, because yes, everything you said has been true, and Alvaro plays a fucking key role in this story. But the story here isn't just what happened now. Is the Faitelson versus the world story. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And in order to know and to tell this story properly, we have to go way the fuck back. All right.
You
so
gotta
really
read the
quickly,
Bible, bro.
Aquí la tengo, güey. La escribí. mi esposa está emputada. ¿Verdad? She's like...
I think Faitelson got bullied as a kid. You could fucking tell.
Ahí mero, güey. Espérate. Just let me preface this by my wife telling me, you put more effort into this podcast than you do our marriage. And I was like, ¿sabes qué?
Welcome
I
to
am
the
more
club.
involved in one of these two than the other. So it's up to you to decide which one you want to be. So aquí está el pedo. All right. La historia de David Faitelson contra el mundo. Rapidito. Antes que nada, güey, we have to understand that the story with David Faitelson starts in TV Azteca. While he was there, that's where he cut his teeth. That's where he did everything. But most importantly, he was the whipping boy of Jose Ramon. Or at least that's the way the story is told. Because if you talk to anybody or you listen to like the stories of TV Azteca around that time, Jose Ramon era culero, güey. Era bien ojete. To the point to where people were like, yeah, he was a tough boss, is what they say now. Pero neta, he was a fucking asshole.
Oh,
all right?
Come on there.
Yeah, exactly. wait, Fighterson was his fucking whipping boy. And if you lived back then and you watched it, and even if you go back and watch those tapes, it's there.
Yeah.
Right? So now you fast forward a couple years, right? And Fighterson leaves TV Azteca for unbeknown reasons, like he just leaves.
The money.
Right? That's what they say. Then a few years later, Jose Ramon leaves TV Azteca as well. What is cited is that the company is choosing to go in a different direction with their sports media coverage.
Marin backstabbed them.
Huh?
It was Marin backstabbing him. Marin took over his spot.
Marin took over his spot. Pero oficialmente lo que dijeron fue, we're going in a different direction. He, what he's done for the institution, this and that, it's great. Adios. Then, a couple ways down the line, he reappears in ESPN, right? Now as a co-worker, peer of Fighterson. Fighterson, years down the line, goes to tell the story that he got Jose Ramon the job, right? That they were looking for someone else, and he was like, well, I don't know if they're available, but I know Jose Ramon's available. Get in contact with him, and then the relationship developed, right? Now, that happens, pero if you listen to the podcast and the things that are said, Fighterson says that the attitude of Jose Ramon towards him never changed, right? Even though there was multiple times they told him, hey, we're peers now, you're no longer my boss. This isn't our working relationship anymore. So you take that and you...
An episode of Chronometer where he just starts fucking talking shit about Fighterson, about him, about his jewelry. He tells him something about, sí, allá en Israel están bombardeando donde eres tú, and he just starts talking shit about him.
Really?
Exactly, and this is happening in ESPN on air. Dude was an asshole, right? So you start to see that stuff happening, and it's taking place, and you see it on camera, and it all builds up to the last World Cup. Right? Where there's this instant where they're going back and forth at the table, and Jose Ramon throws a pen at Fighterson, clear across the table.
He throws a pen at him?
Yeah, just fucking whips it at him.
Really?
Really. It happens. It's on camera.
Oh, shit.
Then, a couple days later, they're talking, and the whole crew is tossing around a soccer ball. It lands on Fighterson. Fighterson tosses it to Jose Ramon and hits him in the head.
Oh yeah, I remember
there's a famous clip of Hugo Sanchez saying, no, eso sí fue de mala leche, lo hizo de mala leche, this and that, right? All right, so at that point, the relationship starts to break. You start to see the two of them spend less and less time together on air. All of this starts to happen. Well, that relationship starts to break down. Then comes Alvaro Morales, right? Alvaro Morales plays his role on TV. He's a fucking clown. He's all this. He's an agitator. Pero there was always that clash between him and David, right? David Fighterson. Los dos siempre se daban en la madre. And then, Albert, maybe you know a little bit more about this. I don't know what happened in the background, but I know that it got to the point to where the two of you refused to work with one another.
Well, what happened was, and Alvaro says that Fighterson, towards the end of his tenure at ESPN, one of his conditions was that he didn't want to be on TV with Alvaro, and I think that Alvaro made a joke. I don't know if you remember, there was a scandal of Fighterson's daughter cheating in the Mexico City Marathon.
Yes, I'm just not sure how that tied into this story.
A fucking comment, one of his snarky remarks, and fucking Fighterson fucking lost it.
You brought he mentioned his daughter?
He mentioned that scandal, yeah.
Albert, please tell us what that scandal was.
That it was clear, and Fighterson fucking he lost his shit, and from I think at least the last 6 months of his time in ESPN, he did not want to be on screen with Alvaro.
All right, so the whole thing was so just background chisme, right? So the whole thing was Fighterson put up a tweet of his daughter finishing some marathon, that he was very proud of her, this and that. Well, then fact checkers came through and were like, "Yo, she ran, but she didn't finish. Like you're presenting a falsehood, right? Like this isn't what happened."
Damn.
So then Alvaro called him out about it, about presenting fake news on air about his daughter, and then it got messy, right? Like así se fue.
Alvaro had it out for Faitelson. He said that he said something along the lines that the Faitelson wasn't well versed in topics, so like he always made it a point to go after him to expose him. So you could tell Alvaro fucking didn't like him and always had it. And he said it. He said, Faitelson no está muy enterado y yo siempre buscaba atacarlo y que para exponerlo, some shit like that.
¿Verdad? So that was happening in ESPN. So during that time, David's popularity is growing and growing in Mexico, right? Because he's seen as, Jose Ramon 2.0. He's going after Televisa. He's critical about La Selección. He's doing all of these things. But in the meantime, he's alienating himself. His peers start to resent him because of the way that he is, right? Ultimately, to the point to where he chooses to leave ESPN and he goes to Televisa, right? That same company that he's built an entire career bad-mouthing.
It's like turning heel, no? Like
that's exactly it. You know what? Since apparently we're a wrestling podcast now.
We went to the dark side.
You guys talked about it a few weeks ago, man. He's a sellout, bro. That's all it is. He's a sellout.
That's exactly it. So he sold out to Televisa. Right at that point, everyone's like, "Yo, what the fuck, bro? Your journalistic value is jack shit." Then
last episodes of Cronómetro and Picante, you could just fucking see you could cut the tension with a fucking knife. Like you could tell fucking Jose Ramon was fucking piercing him with his fucking eyes and fucking.
He doesn't even tell him goodbye when he
fucking
leaves.
Judas, right?
Tú te vas a ir al otro lado y dice José Ramón, yo ni siquiera he dicho nada. No, todos sabemos que te vas a ir allá.
His on-air had, like, that episode, they typically do live episodes. That specific episode had to be taped because ESPN knew how volatile it could be. So it was wild, right? So then he leaves to Televisa. He's doing that thing around that time. Odin Ciani, right? That's the way you pronounce his last name?
Who?
Odin Ciani.
Yes. Odin Ciani goes back to the Telesteca days. It turns out
Odin Ciani goes public.
Yeah.
After Faitelson leaves.
Yeah, that he was the one that used to do fucking all the fucking Faitelson work. Like he did the reportajes, like he would shoot them, he would write the script, and that Faitelson would just fucking do the voiceover. And he was always fucking, and then he's even said, like, he went to Jose Ramon and told him, pues yo hago el trabajo de Faitelson, págame más. So that was his thing. And then they had I think they had a run-in one of the Toluca finals last year where fucking
Toluca versus America.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
I guess fucking and somebody's filming because they know this is gonna happen. If Faitelson goes and shakes his hand, and fucking Ciani's just fucking like puta madre, Faitelson, puta madre.
Wait, no. Puta madre. Es al revés. Es al revés, güey. So if you listen to Yozgat's podcast where where Odin tells the story, they're in line for 45 minutes because they're just like regularly accredited, right? So they have to stand in line. They're TV Azteca, they're ESPN. They don't have rights. Faitelson, being part of Televisa, automatic rights, he shows up. He's in his car waiting. He gets out of the car and makes a beeline straight to Odin. I just want to fucking call him Odin, bro. It's so much easier to just call him Odin. He goes straight to Odin, and the cameraman sees Faitelson coming over, so he tells Odin, he's coming to us. Odin tells his cameraman, start recording. That's who's recording. Fighterson comes in, shakes hand. Fighterson is the one that initiates it, looks over at Odin and says, tu puta madre.
Yep.
And then Odin loses his shit and it fucking escalates and is like, mi puta madre, tu puta madre, malagradecido, and this and that, and just fucking starts tearing into him. So like that blew up and came to fruition down the line, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Entonces, eso pasa. Odin does his press cycle, right? All of that starts to happen. The stories start to come out about how fucking Fighterson puts his name on El Color, but all that he really did was do the voiceover work. Everything else was Odin. And Odin will go out and he'll say, is like, the reason why I have the relationships that I have is because I was the dude behind the camera. Right? Then comes Alvaro Morales. That's the second hit from the other side. Alvaro Morales starts doing the press tour, and then a lot of what Albert just said starts to come about. Ultimately, we get to the point where Jose Ramon and David start to exchange blows back and forth, right?
The cokehead, after fucking he calls him a sicario, Jose Ramon calls him a
sicario first.
Yeah, and then Fighterson hits him back with the cokehead.
With the coca maniático.
Yeah, and then last week, the issue that has been giving memes galore is when it was revealed that in Jose Ramon's memoir, he talks about Fighterson being involved in a sexual
misconduct
case.
Oh, that's the newest gossip.
Exactly.
I think that apology was Fighterson fucking trying to fucking do damage control, because supposedly there's pictures of the incident.
Sí, exactamente. Y ese es el pedo, güey. So here's the thing. So this comes out because the book just came out over the weekend, right? Like that's why over the weekend those memes started to circulate. And Jose Ramon claims to have pictures and images that he describes as grotesque. He also claims that he will never release them out of respect to David's family. That's what's written in the book. That's how he has it, right? That the reason why David left TV Azteca was because there was this sexual harassment issue.
No, because the case was from a show called La Polaca from 2000, and fucking Fighterson doesn't leave till 2007. So he didn't leave because of that.
Is it? Okay, because the way that I saw it spun was like that was kind of the route.
99, it was a show called La Polaca. It was like with puppets and comedy. So it was around 99, 2000, and Fighterson doesn't leave. He doesn't leave with TV Azteca till after the 2006 World Cup.
Either way, this thing is, it just keeps growing and growing. And I for me, it's you spend your whole career like talking shit or being, sort of critical, and it's all coming back to buy. Everyone's cashing in now. So,
and that's exactly it, bro. Like Odin told them, it was like, hey, you can't live your life going from one excuse to the other, right? Like, please look at the way that you conduct yourself and change. Don't forget the people that got you to where you are. And if you do, remember how many times I did your work for you.
And another thing too, it's like he keeps apologizing and
I mean, it's entertaining for fucking for X, but it's fucking embarrassing for Mexican journalism. As like two of the biggest figures of the last 30 years in that environment, and these guys are fucking involved in something out of fucking AAA. Like it's kind of embarrassing for Mexican journalism, but on the other hand, it's fucking entertaining for X. So
Bro, it's all four of them. It's like ESPN is holding their own fucking special over there. Se están dando putazos, but no one has been paying attention.
The Alvaro is on thin ice with ESPN. They don't like his antics. It started when he did the fucking perrito celebration on Pietrasanta. So that that caused a call from Bristol to get him he was suspended for a couple weeks.
What did he do?
You know the Cuauhtemoc Blanco, the pin celebration.
Oh, okay.
And he did it on Pietrasanta.
Oh shit!
And the second call that he got from Bristol was when he jumped on top of the table.
Yeah, that was it. That was the call, and then he had one too for the Pfeiffer's on issue. Then the last one, the one that everybody thought was gonna get him fired. He's interviewing Pedro Pascual for the Fantastic Four fucking premiere, and I think he pisses off Pedro Pascual. He asked him like something. I don't know what it was. I at this point I don't know what it was, but Pedro Pascual got fucking bothered, and I guess he fucking complained with his bosses. And then that one had him a thin. I think that one was supposed to get him fired, but I don't think he's going to be long for ESPN with his antics.
He's bound to land in, unfortunately, one of the fucking 1,000 Foxes. Like he's
gonna come home. He's gonna come home.
He's not coming home, bro. He hates you guys.
But you know what? At least I wanted him badly. Fucking the last World Cup, they were really to fucking random for the World Cup.
Okay, so I guess just to tie all of this back in to the beautiful story of David Faitelson, I guess it's time for Televisa to pull receipts and just see how much money he's bringing in. Is Alvaro Morales a more marketable and a more viable option than David Faitelson in today's environment?
You know what I think of Faitelson? It's all right. So negative attention is good attention, but I think the boos, like when a wrestler gets booed when he's being a bad guy, that's good attention. But when a wrestler gets booed because they don't like him, that's not good. And I think Faitelson is in wrestling they would call it X-Pac heat because there was a time where X-Pac fans, he was a bad guy, but fans just didn't want to see him anymore, and they would just fucking boo him, like, get the fuck out of here. And I think Faitelson, with all these shit that's coming out, I think he's fucking going into that territory of of the bad kind of heat, like, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know who mentioned it here, but they said it earlier. Every enemy that he's made along the way is coming back for their pound of flesh.
They're dropping their knives, of course.
And anybody who has dirt on him is going to cash it in right now because there's fucking blood in the water.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's going to be interesting, and I know this isn't going to end well, and I'm here all for it. And, yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I feel like it's unfolding. Like, every week there's new developments.
It's a fucking novela, way.
Yeah.
It's a great novela that's playing out over the years.
But it's sad that that's the state of Mexican journalism. It turned into a fucking Carmelita Salinas fucking talk show.
Yeah. Hey, so how do we feel about the Atlante project? It also sounds like they're going to be pulling some players from America that they're trying to get rid of. I heard Henry Martin might go to Atlante. Who else?
Well, that's what I was gonna say, Jaime. I was gonna say I'm excited because Miguel Herrera, he's an Americanista through and through, and so I'm excited for him to take some of our scraps. Some of these players that we can't get rid of.
He was a potro de hierro before he was Americanista. Those are his.
No, pero ya, ¿quién le da su cheque?
He was a potro. That's what they got on me. The prodigal son came home.
That's all changed, bro. America te cambia.
Yeah, I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors about Kevin Alvarez returning to, not returning, but going to Atlante. And it looks like they're trying to offload Araujo as well, Nestor Araujo, who's been rotting on the America bench for like 2 years now.
Henry and Kevin Alvarez, supposedly those three are going.
Like I said, our scraps.
Atlanta's going to be ass if that's the route they're going.
Yeah. They're going the Mazatlan route.
Can quién chingados le importa ese equipo? A los únicos que le importa es los viejitos que todavía escuchan música de la Santanera. That's pretty much it. This fucking team has fucking left, and they want to treat it as a fucking historic team. It's just another fucking team. It's I think what 1-2 titles is I don't see anything special, and honestly I'll give them 5 years in a DF before they fucking go back to Cancun or some other fucking beach.
Are they gonna play in Banorte?
Albert, call them by what they are, way.
And they're gonna
Nacos pobres.
But the good thing about Atlante returning back to the EFE is that we've seen projects that like were famous in the capital city and then they go abroad, like Necaxa. They started off in the EFE, it goes to Necaxa, it goes to Aguascalientes, and it just never takes to the people. I mean, you could say they had a championship run and then like the people were down, but like that fan love, it wasn't natural. And so one thing that they did do right, Atlante, is that they're going to where they, like where they came from, where it all started, which is in Mexico City.
Yeah, but the fan base is old. It's like the fan base of the Raiders in Los Angeles. It's old people. They don't resonate with the young crowd, and they're not going to be a winning team to fucking resonate with the new kids. So I like I told you, 5 years they're back at some beach or they're back in fucking Mazatlan.
Like, unfortunately, like some of y'all here, I'm old enough to remember Atlante being in La Liga. And guess what? They played for jack shit. All right? And just like Albert said, they were the club that los borrachos en las cantinas apoyaban. Like the old heads. Like, it wasn't a young and vibrant team. There's nothing sexy about that club.
They had Maldonado.
They're an iconic club, bro.
Maldonado was a nightmare, bro.
Yeah, dude, he scored like 50 goals like in 100 games. Like,
I remember, to me, I don't have a dog in the fight. I personally rather have Atlante. I'm excited for this project just because, like, look at what we've had in the fucking Mazatlan, bro. I mean, it was cool for 5 seconds, but I'm glad that a historic team is restored back in Ciudad
Mazatlan
Mexico.
Wasn't a bad project.
But then
it was just poorly handled. It was Theo Ricci through and through.
It started off cool, but then it just became kind of like, all right, Albert, I'm gonna mute you because it's pretty bad. Yeah, just when you're not talking, mute it. Yeah, dude, for me, it's like Atlante, the historic team. There's a lot of history there in La Ciudad de Mexico. Obviously, a lot of players. Like, ¿cómo se llamaba ese güey que este Chavo del Ocho? ¿Cómo se llamaba este güey? He was like their iconic Sebastian. No. Chamagol. Yeah. And then you had Villar. I mean, dude, there's been a lot of players that played for Atlante. And, they're going to be in Ciudad de Mexico, which...
But what did Atlante reach?
They in 2009? Was it 2009 they won the Club World Cup?
2007 they won the Liga, and then they went to the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo también, güey. ¿Qué chingas quieres? Like, the only person that can, like, hang their fucking laurels on international success is Pachuca.
I just think it's better than Mazatlan, bro.
You're judging it too early. You're judging it on its past history, and that's not what it is anymore.
They were also doing a really good job in the Liga de Expansión, right? Hobbit Bermudez, he fucking won a title with them.
When you play against retards, it's not hard to fucking shine. Have you ever seen a beautiful movie called The Ringer?
I think
that's the whole premise of the entire fucking movie.
Where the fuck do you want to get ice cream? Dude, for me, it's like, I think you're just jealous because you have to share that with them now. It's not just America. You have to share that stadium with Atlante, and you don't like that.
But you don't understand, bro. This is my couch.
Like, Cruz Azul fills up the stadium, America fills up the stadium, and then Atlante struggles to bring in 20,000 people. I think that's where Albert's going. Like, eventually, it's not going to look good having an 80,000 seater for that small usage, so they're going to move them somewhere else.
That's why they went to Cancun, because fucking they didn't have support in fucking Ciudad de Mexico.
I find that hard to believe.
No, but Jaime, like fucking, like Adira said, nomás era el equipo de los borrachos viejos. It's not a new look at their fan fest. They had like a fan rally. Era pura gente que todo escucha la Santanera, que todo escucha sonidero. It's like the old fucking crowd, like fucking like those movies for fucking Tintan and shit. It's fucking like an old fan base.
It's like if they brought back Toros Nessa. It's the same thing, but it's just like the nostalgia factor.
You know what? I think Toros Nessa could put a good fucking fight as a comeback.
Yeah. But,
oh yeah.
Because they're Rowdy fucking Piper.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's who they are.
When did Atlante leave the league? When they get relegated?
Fuck.
remember.
Early 2000s.
Porque desde el 2000, desde el 92, Atlante y Cruz Azul have the same titles, bro. 2 each.
Yeah.
Desde el 92.
¿Sabes qué? I'm going to need you to sit down, bro. I don't know how much you've been drinking, but I'm going to need you to sit down right now.
Bro, I'm drunk as fuck. Well, not drunk as fuck, but I'm.
You know what? I'm proud
good.
of you. I'm proud of you.
Feeling
good for
good,
you.
bro. I was thinking, I was like, man, maybe I should do this more often, bro. Like, I really feel like I'm talking about shit right now.
Yo, you've learned about lemons. You're saying shit with your full fucking chest. Just wait until I tell you the beauty of cousin fucking. Just hold on, my dude.
Hold on, man.
But we're talking football right now.
I'm excited for the Atlante project. You know, Piojo's going to be there, and it seems like they're going to just take America's rejects and try to make chicken salad with chicken shit, you know? So, again, better than whatever Mazatlan was doing.
Like, it's going to be an interesting patch job. Dale, Albert. Perdón, güey. Perdón.
No, it's just Atlanta's going to save the Viernes Botanero. They're going to slot into that 9 o'clock Mexico Central time. So there's going to be a Viernes Botanero on Tebasteca for a while.
Bro, it felt so wrong that there wasn't an early match on Viernes Botanero.
Am I tripping, or once upon a time there was 4 teams playing in El Azteca, including Necaxa?
No, because Atlante would play in that stadium that you hate, el de la ciudad. Yeah, they used to play, and then they moved to El Azteca, and then Cruz Azul went to fucking that stadium.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember Necaxa playing in El Azteca growing up.
Yeah, it was Necaxa, Cruz Azul. I started following in the mid-90s. So it was America, Necaxa, and Cruz Azul. And then Necaxa bolted to Aguascalientes in the early 2000s, and Cruz Azul took over the that fucking stadium that you hate. So there was Atlante and America in the mid-2000s before fucking Atlante fucking bounced to Cancun.
You know,
but Atlante could never fill the fucking stadium, bro. It was so sad watching their games in there.
Their fan base is old. It's like the Raider fans in LA. They're old.
You know, I hate to bring up MLS, but there's something happening with the Vancouver Whitecaps, right? Like they haven't been able to sell the club to a owner, and now they're talking about relocation.
Yeah, because of that issue, that issue ties into the fact that they need a stadium because their lease with the BC place is which I think it's a World Cup stadium. It's gonna be it terminates this year, and I think MLS wants like some modern digs. So it's a lot of pressure, and then there's already there's always vultures. So there's a team I think there's 2 groups in Las Vegas interested in buying the team, and then there's in Phoenix, and then there's in Sacramento that are interested in taking the team. And MLS, considering they're collecting fucking fortunes with these fucking team fees. So they particularly don't care if the team stays in Vancouver. So some say that it's probably the same situation that happened with Columbus, where Columbus was threatening to move to Austin, and then fucking I guess everybody fucking all the fan base and the people in Columbus got their shit together, and they got a new stadium, and they managed to keep the team. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Vancouver's going to run the same fate. Like a total, considering that these fucking MLS franchises are fucking selling for fucking a lot of fucking money.
Hold on. For the record, I just want to like frame this with saying that there's a massive difference between British Columbia and the shithole of the world, which is Columbus. Like, property is considerably cheaper.
No, but it's like, there's something's going on. They don't they can't sell the team, and they don't have a fucking new stadium. I mean, something's obviously is not going on there. Something's obviously not right there.
I'm
What's
surprised.
also the importance of having your own stadium. You guys hate on the Chivas Stadium. You got homeless people that couch surf and still hate on the Chivas Stadium, despite not having one. But the importance of the Vancouver thing, they only keep 12% of the stadium ticketing and revenue, things that have to do with it, because they don't own it, they're leasing it. So, that's the importance of having the stadium. It gives you stability, something that some chemos know nothing about. That's why they're firing their coach right before Liguilla.
Habibi, that was the issue with Chivas USA. They had no ownership in fucking in the Carson Stadium, so they didn't have access to fucking parking revenue. They could only get a piece of concessions, and that's but like the Chargers, they don't have their own stadium in the NFL, but they made it so that they get those fucking perks. Like, they get fucking parking money. They only pay like a dollar rent. So that's a deal they worked out. But the Chargers are like an exception in the fucking pro sports landscapes of the United States. In the pro sports landscape of the United States, in order to make money, you need a fucking stadium. You need a stadium so that you could collect parking money, concession money. You could rent it out for fucking Taylor Swift. You could rent it out for Metallica.
It's just interesting because, you don't really see that happen in MLS. They're always talking about expansion, but you never hear about a team getting relocated. Obviously, it happened to San Jose Earthquakes going to Houston.
Happened to you, yeah.
But it doesn't really happen as often as it does in Mexico. So we have our quarterfinals in...
Espérame. Yeah. I was talking on mute. I think the problem is, if I'm correct, it's BC Place isn't a soccer-specific stadium versus if you start to look around the league in MLS, most of the teams play in a smaller soccer-specific stadium.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like MLS wants to.
Revolution, they play the fucking Razor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're also owned by Gillette.
Yeah. But
that whole money gets cycled back into it. Like, that's a very special setup that's happening out in New England.
Yeah, but everybody else has their own dig. I know San Diego, but I think San Diego rents it from. It's not their stadium, but I think they have a good deal with the university. It's part of the San Diego State, but they have a decent.
Yeah, it's owned by the Aztecs, SDSU.
But it's a soccer specific stadium. Am I correct?
I guess. I mean, I've been there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's definitely smaller.
Yeah, it's like 30,000, 35,000.
Yeah, they had a really cool setup when Wrexham came into town, and they had like a whole like pub area for all the Wrexham fans, and yeah, it was a really cool experience. But getting rideshare over there was a nightmare.
Oh yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Now, really quickly, while we're talking about stadiums and stadium gossip, I'm not sure if this is fake news. I'm not sure what I'm bringing to the table, but my sources tell me that this is kind of legit. I hear that tailgating is back on the menu, baby.
That's what I heard too. I think everybody pushed back, and they finally caved in.
They heard to the voice of America, fucking loud and clear, of tailgating is our sporting culture.
And they're gonna charge $1,000 for those spaces.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
No mames.
Well, for an NFL game, those spots at SoFi, they go for like just a fucking regular fucking season game. Those spots at SoFi go for, I think, 200, 300 for tailgating. So now imagine for the World Cup.
Yeah, that's all they. This can be fixed with money, is what FIFA opportunist. That's what they'll do.
Now, I guess here's my question. In order to get a tailgating ticket, because I personally I've never tailgated, like provided the car and done that portion of it. Do I need a ticket to the game to attend a tailgate, or can I just tailgate and not go into the stadium?
It depends on what FIFA decides, and it depends on There's some events that don't require, but this last college championship game in Miami, they allowed tailgating at the Hard Rock, but only if you had a ticket for the game.
That sucks, because I could see myself not attending that World Cup game, but just being outside the stadium and tailgating and getting drunk and having fun.
Tailgating from Jordan with some kebabs or some shit like that.
Hey guys. Cantina MX tailgate party.
I'm down. It'd be cool to do it in TJ. I heard TJ, like, they get down like that.
Oh my God! It's a giant. Even in San Diego, like for the Mexico games, it smells like a giant taco stand. It's something else, man.
Yeah,
there's going to Hong Kong that are playing, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, my memories of the Oakland Coliseum, it always was when Mexico used to go and play there. It was always about the tailgating and the banda, mariachi, tacos, and putazos. It was pretty intense, you know. Even as a kid, I got exposed to that scene at a very young age.
I worked games at Qualcomm and at the Coliseum and at the Rose Bowl, and honestly, the festivities it was much more. They're much more cooler in San Diego. It's like the carne asada. Then you had fans from everywhere. You had fans from Arizona, from TJ, from San Diego, from LA. And LA, honestly, you just had a bunch of cagapalos. People just want to go start shit, or just they weren't really partying. I mean, that's why, you know, San Diego was. I always liked working San Diego games because it was a blast.
Yeah. Let me go quickly over the table. Final results after 17 fixtures. Pumas secured first place with 36 points. Chivas with 36 points as well, but 16 goal differential versus 17. So they're in second place. Cruz Azul in third. Pachuca fourth. Toluca fifth. Atlas in sixth. Tigres in seventh. And at the very, very bottom is America securing that final eighth spot. So Pumas will face off against America. Chivas will face off against Tigres. Cruz Azul will face off against Atlas. And Pachuca will face off against Toluca. The matches will be played on both Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, that's what the quarterfinals look like. They are going to be a week apart. So the first leg will be this Saturday, and the return leg will be next Saturday. Not sure how I feel about that, but we do have Tigres and Toluca both playing in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and I'm sure that's what was the deciding factor to put these matches a week apart.
Pero espérame. I feel like you're bearing a very important lead in all of this. Now, before all that, hold on, let me say this. Ahora, out of the way the standings shook out and all of this, there is something very important to know about the number 3 spot. And that is that once again, Cruz Azul has been named as the best team across the entire footballistic year. Todo el año futbolístico, the entire year, the 2 tournaments. And because of that, they get a multi-million-dollar purse that's awarded to the team that scores the most points throughout both tournaments.
Can you put that as a down payment for your house that you don't have because you're homeless?
Guess what, putos? It's the second time we fucking win it. So this goes further to prove the point that if Mexico was like any other federation and we played a long tournament, me la estuvieran pelando más que la mazorca de un elote,
güey. 20 minutes ago? You're doing a bunch of what ifs. You think everyone would play the same if that was the case?
All I hear is broke boy shit, bro.
Broke boy.
Broke boy, you don't even have a home.
Hey, you know what? Don't worry about the shady things that I do with my money, okay? The thing is, I'm getting money. Where's yours? Because clearly, y'all living millions of dollars on the table.
That bonus is going to Larcamon because you guys fired his ass and you owe him money.
You know what? Just don't read the fine print on my contracts, all right? Don't you worry about that.
That's so funny.
I don't want to say look at your own bag, but look at your own issues and your own past
that
trauma.
Money
okay?
is going to America for rent so they can buy players. That's literally what you're doing.
Yeah, you're raising money for other people.
Tell me, where are your ACs? Did you ever get those back?
We never got those back, fucking Fernando Gago.
What about the laptops? Tampoco?
Laptops?
Yeah, he took laptops with information. Oh, no, that was my guy. Fuck, my bad. I get them twisted because it happened at the same time.
I remember.
Fuck, I burned myself in the process.
I remember when we went to, was it South the Copa America? And like the players got robbed by the prostitutes and then they snitched on themselves.
Magical moments.
It's like when you watch a show Cops and the guy calls the cops on the prostitute robbed him. But she robbed my weed. Like, hey, what are you doing, man? Come on.
It's like, he sold me fake crack.
No, there was one where like it was a lady. She's like, "What do you think I am? I don't do drugs. I'm calling because he didn't pay me for. I'm a sex worker." I'm like, "Oh my god." Yeah.
All right. For the record, here's what I'm going to give y'all. And you say thank you once I'm done saying this. If you're in that lifestyle where you go seeking company at the end of the night, what you want to do is once you check into the room, you set up a camera, right? Because if they come for you or it's a sting operation, you were not hiring a prostitute. You were hiring a performer to engage in amateur pornography. All right? That is your defense. That is the same defense that Diddy is using to fight all of the charges that they're trying to give him.
Wow.
So you're welcome. Here's a little tidbit of legal advice.
Bro, I was going to say, I was like, this motherfucker thinks he's Neymar. And I was like, no, he thinks he's Diddy.
Hey, you got to learn from the greats, right?
Grab the baby oil.
It's that 80-20 rule, my boy. Once you learn it, life gets so much better.
So considering the fact that we now have a preliminary list, who do you think is the strongest team going into Liguilla, and who do you think will end up winning the entire thing?
Your boogeyman. That dude that, like, when you hear the name, you get those Vietnam-era flashbacks where your entire season came crashing down in 5 minutes. That's the strongest team going into Liguilla. Because they have zero call-ups to the national team.
You think so?
It's Tigres. Toluca?
Tigres is going full force, bro. Tigres is going full force with a dick full of confidence. Like, they're heating up at the right time. They have been giving nothing but fist fuckings for the last 3 weeks straight.
Who, Tigres?
Yeah.
I also think they're spreading themselves too thin with the Champions Cup.
Yeah. That's the same thing with Toluca.
You know what, bro? Worry about that shit when you start playing that tournament. All right? Right now, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing in the league level and going into Liguilla. Like, bro, don't worry about those guys.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Cholo Simeone is a terrorist, man. He had me thinking Angel Correa was trash, and this dude is just fucking. He's what, like a top 3 player since he joined Tigres, And I'm just like I thought it was gonna be not a disaster per se, but I thought, man, I had the copium, bro. I was smoking on that shit. I thought it was gonna be Saint Maximin. I thought he was gonna be better than Correa, and here comes Correa just fucking having some crazy year.
Yeah, he scored a golazo today against Nashville. Didn't even think twice about it. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he blasted with his left foot, nice volley, and you kind of see the caliber of player that he is. I wish more Mexican players would have that natural instinct, you know?
As for me, I think Pumas is gonna be the champ.
How? Without Memote?
Oh, come on!
You got him.
Without Memote, they can't do it.
I know he said that it was a tactical call up. He fulfills a specific role, and like everybody said, like the fucking Pumas has been playing better without him. But I think, you know, they have the home field advantage throughout the fucking liguilla. That's one thing. So they're gonna fucking take them fucking Seúl and fucking fry them. And then you know, it's just Efrain he's from that fucking Vasco Aguirre fucking get a bunch of guys and fucking just scrap it out. And I think that's gonna fucking carry them to the fucking to the title, and everybody's gonna be fucking wanting fucking Efrain for la selección.
I 100% agree with what he's saying about Pumas being the favorite or the strongest team right now. I'm seeing them as like this great nullifying force, man. They have like this back line that'll just muscle you off the ball, and then it's just topped with the crown jewel, which is Keylor Navas, you know, the fucking human Puma.
And Antuna, bro. Antuna's been scoring goals.
Yeah. Ever since he retired from the national team, he got good. But it's this other guy that they bought from Toluca, who's their best player. I forgot his name. He is fantastic for them. I can't believe Toluca let him go. I said so last week, but he's just so good. And you know, like the style that Juarez is producing is really good in the tournament format. You know, like I'm surprised that they got the first place in the league. You know, that scrappy style doesn't always play out in the league format. Just ask Cholo Simeone. He's only won 2 leagues in like 20 years. But what's it called? You know, he's not only been able to do that, but like he's got this style that I think will just really carry him in Liguilla. And so he's not missing too many guys. Is he missing anyone? Just Memote, right? And he's not even a starter. So Aguirre is doing them a favor. They play better without him. So I don't know, man. I do think this could be Pumas' year. Hopefully.
Are you sure? Because Albert has him as Hormiga's replacement once he goes to Europe.
Who?
Albert.
No. Whose replacement? Memote?
Oh, Memote for Hormiga.
Oh, God. I could see that happening. They also have Jordan Carrillo heating up at the right time. Still relatively young, 24 years old. But I don't know, man. Something about them... I just feel like they're gonna come up short. Let's start. You
gotta go against Papa. Come on, bro.
We gotta start with the process of elimination. I think one team we can obviously immediately rule out is America. They're not winning shit.
No, mames.
Atlas. Just congratulations on getting to Liguilla, but they're not winning anything either. So I mean, you got 2 teams you can already eliminate off the bat. Tigres, they just have a deep roster, dude. I mean, they have fucking Marcelo Flores, they have Ozzy Herrera, they have Gignac making his final run, you know. So if pushing comes to shove, and they can still come off the bench with, you know, Córdoba and Córdoba doesn't play there anymore. He's at Toluca now, right? I forgot.
He's another player that scored a golazo. But bro, you're breaking my heart. Nah, bro. Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
With America, bro. 8th place,
bro. Efrain, he's gonna do that rah shit, and Jardinez gonna cook up the fucking craziest starting 11. And he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude, we gotta cut you off. I think you're feeling yourself right now.
Yeah, I will say that with Pumas, you know, you look at
Nah. Hold up. I'm sorry, Javi. I'm gonna let you finish real quick. But you know what, you're gonna try to cut off, like, I'm not gonna say my boy, but my fellow Alki over here, and you can try to cut him off when he's talking that same cash shit that you were talking 3 weeks ago about Chivas. Come on, my dude.
Yeah, but America hasn't shown any moments of brilliance this season. They've been sucking it up the entire. I'm surprised they even got to Liguilla.
You know what? That's why I gotta salute him that much harder, bro.
Yeah,
to talk that much cash shit.
Listen, man, I don't
chances.
know. The team that didn't beat Pumas, Cruz Azul, or Toluca cannot talk, bro.
Well, yeah, you guys didn't beat anybody.
Wait, who the fuck did we beat? Hold on, I'm off that shit. Who the fuck? We beat somebody. Oh, we beat Toluca. There we go. Yeah, we beat Toluca.
You're right.
Y'all didn't beat nobody.
We beat America, so you're right. We didn't beat anybody this season.
Wait, come on, guys. Come on. It's like watching your two retarded cousins fight right now. Like, you guys failed every single time you faced opposition. America has been just sipping shit the whole time. While if we're gonna point fingers, my team has been failing against the fucking minnows. Like, I don't know how, pero cuidado, güey. Esos cabrones traen manos.
America's healthy now. Henry's back, bro.
Is he back?
He's back.
Didn't he get suspended for throwing hands?
No, he already missed that game. That was last week.
I'm not scared.
He came back and played.
Yeah, I'm not scared of El Descansador, güey. Come on.
Look, I don't think America has the depth to go on a deep run. They might be able to upset Pumas, but this is a long, liguilla, right? Because they're gonna spread it out like week over week. I just don't think they have the depth to win the whole thing. But congratulations on making it 8th place.
No, congratulations to you guys for making it. It's been a while, no?
What are you
How long has
about?
it been?
We made it last season. What are you talking about?
Playing doesn't count.
Last season.
6th. We got into 6th.
Bro, y'all played that little extra game.
No,
I don't even know what it's called.
We finished in 6th. We finished in 6th place.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, Chivas lives off of that little extra game.
We didn't play the play-in.
Yeah, hey, Abdias, what's it called, bro? We don't really play that much. We played it once. The little extra game.
La Copa de los Pobres. That's what I call it.
We got 6th place, and if it wasn't for pinche Chicharo, we would have eliminated Cruz Azul. So, yeah.
Bro, there's funny math that happens on that side. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Right. Funny math over here, and we started talking about grinder. Now we got a Chemo and a Huila, like having a circle jerk going on. So
yeah,
that's kind of funny too.
What about Pachuca? I feel like they're kind of like the dark horse. Pumas is no longer the dark horse. Now they're the favorites. Pachuca, they did finish in 4th. They have Elias Montiel, who's, looks like he's getting back in form. I don't know, man.
If Pachuca wins, it's by playing fucking terrorist ball. Because it's not pretty. Their play style isn't attractive. It's nothing that it's fucking outstanding. So, you know what? You're in for a fucking grind fest if that's what we have to look forward to. If anything, watch out with Rondon and watch out with Kennedy outside the box. EDC has been non-existent.
Rondon is suspended, right? I think they're missing like 2 starters right now.
Oh, I don't know what happened in their last match.
Am I tripping? Rondon got a red card, no?
Did he?
You know what, bro? Like right now, you're fucking flying, my dude. So I'm gonna say I don't know.
I don't know, dude. I don't think so. I will say, Toluca, they are the champs, right? So they have the benefit of the doubt. They're losing Alexis Vega, but they still got Paulinho. The only thing that, for them is, Turco's kind of like, he's lost that momentum. He's kind of lost his head a little bit, and they no longer are the higher seed. So, if a game ends in a draw, it's going to go to Pachuca, and I think that's going to be tough for them.
Bro, this Don Julio giving me powers, bro. They did. Rondon got a red card last game, and then Brian Garcia, too. Come on.
Damn. All right. Yeah, dude. It's just the way it is, right? I'm sorry. Jaime, what did you say? That Don Julio.
No, I'm saying that, with Toluca, they dropped to 5th.
Oh, yes, Toluca. Dude, Toluca has been playing on-brand games, all right? They had a mishap over the last couple of matches, but if you watch them when they're in form, when they're firing on all cylinders, which is more often than not, they play really fucking well. They play that style that lets you know, it's like, oh shit, this is why they're fucking back-to-back champions. If anything, I'm going to be honest with you. And I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like, the way Toluca's playing, the way they look, Toluca is one team that does make me worry about maybe stretching themselves too thin. Is they might be on the track of a tricampeonato. And if we see 2 tricampeonatos back to back, like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean for our league?
It means that we're finally consistent.
So then why don't we go to a long season?
Because of money.
Like, I don't want to beat the long season drum, right? Because we do that all the time, especially me. I know I do that all the time. But let's just look at the possibility. Like, Toluca's looking sexy. All right? Like, if I was a betting man, I would put money on Toluca. I don't know what our resident betting man would say, but personally, I would put money on Toluca and Chivas. Like, somewhere in there, that's where that pot's going to go. Because if we just look at play style, the way things are rolling, before you got gutted, that's the way it was.
Yeah, you do have to give the champions the benefit of the doubt. And I think aside from, I guess, Pumas being the favorites, you have to give Toluca a fighting chance. However, they are still in the Champions Cup. They play LAFC tomorrow, so they're going to have to travel back and forth. And I don't know how much of a factor that is. I don't know if they're going to be spread too thin for a championship run.
I'm really wondering what Marcel Reese is going to do, because honestly, like, if I was him, I would just get the surgery as soon as possible. With no World Cup, that's what I would do. But I mean, if he plays Liguilla, I guess he's still probably, I mean, he was a starter, like I guess, but that's a little difficult in that part. I think Tigres is just overall more healthy, and Toluca's just stretched thin.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if Turco will allow him to play, or if they'll just say, hey, you gave it a shot, just take the surgery, rest up, get him after, get him next year. I don't know. I have no idea. Reminds me of when Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles heel, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm coming back," and he expedited his recovery, his rehab, and was able to, I guess, get back before the end of the season, which no one thought was going to be possible. But with Marcel, he's young, man. I think he can bounce back. He just needs to get that surgery and get healthy. Looks like Joel was having issues getting back in. I also don't see Ron in here for some reason, but he's been trying to get in as well. Sometimes the app works weird.
I have been following that. I think they might be like trying to join via the like incognito mode or whatever it is that they call it on here.
Oh, Joel, are you able to speak? Says you're on mute. Oh, it says that they got booted out. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes the Twitter app has a lot of issues, and because I can't even see them listening, which is weird.
My audio kept disconnecting like every 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
I logged in through a different browser, like Brave instead of Chrome, and I haven't had any issues since.
Oh, okay. Are you guys doing it on the desktop, or are you guys doing it on your phone?
I do it on my laptop.
Oh,
I'm on
okay. Yeah. Ron saying,
Hey, but I will say about that Toluca thing, well, they joined. Toluca has been bleeding goals. They only have like 1 win in their last 5. San Diego scored a good amount of goals against them. They beat Chivas, but Chivas from minute 20 towards the end of the game, Chivas had them against the ropes. They could have scored a bunch of goals as well. I think they're spread thin. They're not the
Yeah.
same team that they were last tournament. I'm gonna have to go with, unfortunately, Tigres, because to me, Tigres has the best player in Liga MX, which is Bruneta. Like that dude can score, he can assist, he can create. He's always giving you shots on target. And then most importantly, something that they have that Pumas does not have is that experience. You know, that experience of playing these tournaments. I think in Pumas, the main guys that have that experience would be Efrain, Juarez, and Keylor Navas. But with Tigres, you have that experience across the starting 11, plus the coach who's won multiple titles with Tigres. So I would give them as being my strongest candidate to win La Liga.
We'll see what happens. I'm very excited to see the young kids from Chivas get some minutes, see if we can pull off something like we did in 2006, get very close to a title run. And, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Milito, I'm sure, has been plotting this for a while, anticipating these losses we're going to have with, 5 players being called up. That's why he incorporated Wale. We'll see what happens on Saturday, but Tigres obviously have a pretty strong record against Chivas, and we don't even have to look back that far. It was a pretty bad mollywhopping that we received in El Volcán. The only hope
in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes.
The only hope I have is the fact that they are playing 2 tournaments. They had to go out all the way to Nashville. I'm sure they're flying back tomorrow. And, that also adds to the fatigue and the tax.
Hey, question. When do you guys become homeless?
After the quarterfinals.
Okay, perfect. Because I think it's you and America, right, are the only 2 teams that are having to worry about that.
I mean, with America, they don't have to worry because they're not going to go on a deep run. They're going to get eliminated by Pumas. But
Pinche Jaime.
where would they play if they got past Pumas? I want to know.
Bro, I don't know. Maybe Puebla? I don't know.
Dude. I think El Cuauhtémoc would house both of us.
Oh, so no Estadio de Deportes?
I deadass think that spot is condemned. You know what is not so much as sharing the couch? We're sharing the same sex doll. All right? At least in our defense, it's a very nice real doll. Like the new ones that have like the robotics and all that stuff built into it. Like high-end type shit. The type that where you have to do like, hey, how much is this worth? You're too broke. All right? If you have to look at the price tag, you can't afford it.
The ones with the AI.
A huevos, ves? He knows. Because that's like the robotics are like mid-tier. The AI ones. Ahí estás, güey. So that grip is consistent at all times? That's called extra money, my dear good sir.
Like Ronnie, the limo driver on the Howard Stern show, he was invited to a warehouse where they build those new ones, and he was fucking amazed. He was like I think his wife got jealous and fucking made him throw that shit out.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. I think the golden rule in life is never let your wife catch you fucking a sex doll. Like, I think that's a pretty big key to life.
Damn.
Bro, once this podcast gets to like close to 3 hours, man, this shit this shit goes off the deep end.
Yeah, we are at the 2:30 mark. I think it's good to start closing thoughts. I don't know why Soccer Kron can't get in. Joel, I don't know. I sent the invites like a few times. It's weird. I haven't been able to see them, but I keep sending the invite to speak.
No thoughts for me. Just everybody have a good night and a good week. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Albert, for joining us. El beeper, el más sabio.
Hey, has anyone noticed how there is no beeping? So you know what, man?
No, I've been
proud of
hearing it.
you. Oh, I haven't. I was like, yo, I'm proud of you. You took your family's well-being seriously. Like, good for you. Pero, pues, ni modo. Bueno, my closing thoughts. Como siempre, ¿verdad? Coming in here, we already, ya echamos veneno por todos lados, güey. Chisme, like advice, todo. ¿Verdad? Lo que está pasando ahorita este fin de semana es la Fórmula 1. ¿Verdad? El Gran Premio de Miami. So, this is the premier fucking Grand Prix in the US, right? It's held during the day. It's in Miami. It's where all of the stars go out. It's fucking amazing, right? It's the fucking tits. Now, the big thing about the Miami Grand Prix, it's the first one coming back out of this break that we've had because of the current global status. Now, we're going into it. There's been a ton of upgrades done to the cars. Everyone's bringing new things to the track. Development has happened. Hopefully, Honda has a half-decent engine that they can put into an Aston Martin. We'll see what Cadillac is doing. Like, it's a really fucking exciting weekend, right? Like, it's fucking great. Now, the best thing about all this is that it's also a sprint weekend. So what that means is that there's a mini race the day before the race, which is going to give you an idea of how everything is shaking out. This is so they do prelims, they do qualifying, they do all of these things, and then they do a sprint race, which is a 15 to 14 lap race to see who's the fastest, how everything's working out. They take the data from that race and then do fine tuning to their cars. That's why, like I said, you get a good idea as to how everything is going to shake out. They also use that sprint race as a form of grid, like qualifying for grid position, start the real race. So it's important as to how that shakes out. That's what's happening in Formula One. Now, if you're a swag fag and you want to get some good drip, there is a really good and strong partnership that has happened between Disney and Formula One, where they have been dropping some hot fucking fire over the last couple months consistently since last year's Las Vegas Grand Prix. So if you go on F1 Shop right now and you look under their F1 and Disney collab, there is the new Miami Grand Prix gear that just came out. And I highly suggest for anybody who's listening to pick up the black Miami Grand Prix Disney Formula One collab hoodie. It's fucking beautiful. It's one of the best things that you're going to see out there. I would get it. You know what? If you want to sit on it and resell it later on down the line, that's the way to go. Now, with that being said, really quickly, like Lil Hattrick said, you know, once we get into the later hours, it goes off the rails. And I want to embrace that energy. And I just want to put a quick PSA out there. All right. So here's a little personal story. The other day, I went on my favorite tube site, and I was feeling a little bit nostalgic, right? So I chose to kick it to one of my OGs, one of my first loves. And unfortunately, once I curated the right playlist, right, I got in there, and I got a little bit bored, and I scrolled a little bit too far down, and the first comment that I saw was RIP. And I felt some type of way, man. So I started searching, I started looking, and yeah, it was true. And that kind of led me down this rabbit hole, and I started looking up a couple names, and you know what? The MILFs of yesterday are the dearly beloved of today, and the newcomers are the MILFs now. So I guess the moral of the story is time doesn't stop. Check in on your favorite entertainers. And every now and then, just look them up, man. Sometimes you got to do a farewell tour. And with that being said, I tell y'all, buenas noches.
Fantastic. Yeah, that happens a lot in the adult industry. A lot of them unlife themselves. It's a dark industry. Who's going to be the Captain Save-A-Ho?
I'll go next, man, because I've been getting booted.
Oh, shit, he's in here.
Let's go, Joel.
Yeah, I missed the whole combo, so final thought would just be on two topics that were touched on earlier. One was Tomas talking about the World Cup and how it's mainly just to set up Marquez, sort of like they kind of given up on this tournament. And I know Bias has echoed this sentiment, but I don't feel that way. I feel they're trying to salvage what they can, because had they given up, you're not bringing Aguirre and paying them all the money because they're paying them a lot. You know, they could have found any other coach if that was the point, and they would not have put Marquez as assistant if they were expecting, a fail. Now, I think they're hopeful it's going to be a decent World Cup, at least quinto partido, and because it will be very important to set up Marquez for the next cycle. We touched on this subject before. A failure in this World Cup is going to carry over, and Marquez' project is going to be, dead before it even gets to start. So I think it's very important for them, and a lot's riding. And of course, third World Cup for Mexico as hosts. So I think, they're trying to make the most of a project where they lost a good 2 years, with all this fuckery and different coaching and whatnot. So I think it's very important for FMF to get it right, So that was the first one. Second one, Lil Hattrick talked about using Chivas, and I say you have to write that. I don't want to say, using Chivas for the national team. We've seen in the past where they've used a core group, and if you look at World Cup champions, the majority of them have been with core groups from the same teams. Spain with Real, Barça, Germany with majority Bayern, Italy with Juve, Milan. So you've kind of seen that. But with this next team, Chivas would not be the core, the core group. For the most part, a lot of those guys are going to be subs. So that's why I say it wouldn't work. And also, part of it, Chivas looks good because they get to train in, day out. And they're very familiar with their rivals because they're playing them all the time. So I think that helps them, that you really can't carry that over to the national team. So I think Mr. Hattrick's safe for now of writing this team. Because I think for next cycle, I do think Chivas is going to play an important role, and a lot of those players are going to be coming into it. And it kind of reminds us of when La Volpe was coach and you had all the Chivas squad. The majority of them were all starters. And I think it's going to be similar going into the next cycle. Shit, I didn't get booted. All right, that's all I got.
No, wait, you're in here.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. No, but I finished, so I'm surprised I got to finish. Shit, it didn't sound right. But yeah, es todo. Se acabó mi cora.
Awesome, Joel. Thank you. Who's next?
Look, I'll go next. I just want to say really quick, Jolie. So I guess when I'm talking about Chivas being the base or playing like Chivas, because in my mind, I think Cotorro has done enough to be the starter at left back. Unfortunately, he just really hasn't given the chance. Then Gallardo is he's experienced, he's a veterano, and he has been playing well, so it's fair. But Ledesma, I think Ledesma should have been able to run away with the right back. I don't know if those early conversations with Aguirre kind of soured that relationship or something. But to me, those two would have to start, in my opinion. They would have to start, and then you have Brian Gutierrez, who is the third player that should start. Now, in my opinion, it's looking like Hormiga is probably going to end up getting some playing time. So at any given point in the World Cup, we could see up to 4 players from Chivas playing. And in my opinion, it's not even about adapting to the style. When I say adapting to the style, I'm talking about you have 2 wing backs and you play with like 3 center backs. Now my issue is who is our third center back? We don't really know. Is it Israel Reyes? Is it Edson? I think Charlie not being called up means that Edson's probably going to play because he can play as a center defensive midfielder. He could play as a center back, so that's fair. But all I'm saying is you could kind of play with the way Chivas is playing, which is having 2 wing backs who center very well. That's the most important part. I guess that's what I mean is that both those players, they center very well. And whether we have Raul, maybe we have Hormiga, Memote, Lord forbid we have Memote in there. But at the very least, we know that we have 2 players that can center the ball accurately. And at the end of the day, Aguirre could talk to them like, hey, what does the Chivas coach tell you guys to do in these situations? What are the instructions that he gives you? And I also think that once Liguilla is over, they could bring him in for maybe pick his brain on how he sees the game, just because Chivas is the team that, in my opinion, has played the best. Overall, they've been solid, and that's just all it is. Like you said, we've seen teams in the World Cup that win. They're like they have like a base of maybe they play in the same team or whatnot.
Yeah, but those are like starters that have been, with US is still a very young team. And a lot of these guys haven't even featured long in the national team. There was this, there was this one, I forgot the name of the player, but he was talking about how difficult it used to be in the national team back in his days, and he says, now you have one good season, and keep in mind it's a short season, and you're already getting called up. There's a lot of truth to that. So you said before there was more competition, more difficult. So and you have to prove yourself way more, and you can see it with the strikers, like Luis Hernandez, for example. He was already playing in '94, and he was nowhere near the national team. You had Espinosa, and you had like so many players competing for those spots. That just hasn't been the case with Mex. The foreigners, there's so many foreigners now. It cut the amount, and I think that's we've gotten used to it now. As soon as someone's looking good, we already want to put him in the national team. Case in point, Marcel. What was it?
Marcelo Flores. Yeah.
Yeah. He wasn't even playing in the first division, and it's because he was in the Arsenal's youth, or what. and it's kind of the same. With some other players, they have like a decent season, and they're already getting put on the squad. So I do think we'll see those Chia players, but I feel the majority are just going to be subs.
For sure, Joel. Thank you for joining us. Glad you're able to figure out those technical difficulties. For our listeners, we do have a Discord server. So if you're not on Twitter, because there's a lot of people that aren't a fan of Twitter or just don't want to create an account, reach out to us and we will send you an invite to join our Discord, and you can actually join our voice channel. I always broadcast our podcast on there, so you can actually just join from Discord, make it a lot easier. Who else? Habibi, I don't think you had closing thoughts.
Honestly, I really don't have closing thoughts. I said it at the beginning of the season with Chivas. It's great how we're playing. It's a very dominant style. It doesn't matter if we're playing home or away, or we're playing Toluca or Mazatlan. Like we're trying to impose our style. But I could just never fully enjoy it because I just kept thinking of like the World Cup. Like we're gonna lose all these players. And then the more that I think about it, the more that it just pisses me off. You know, like Joel just said right now that the majority of these guys are going to be in the World Cup on the bench. And I agree. You know, the only one that's going to start is going to be Tala. Hormiga's probably going to be on the bench. Piojo might start because, you know, Basco likes him. Brian maybe on the bench. And then who's your other one? Is that it?
Romo.
Romo on the bench. So it's like, all right, so we're losing these guys in Liguilla when we got hot. We're losing our leading scorer. You know, we're losing a game changer like El Brian and our starting goalkeeper. For what? So only like two of them can start. The rest can go on the bench, and we're when everybody else is not doing this. And we hear the argument of like, well, it's the World Cup cycle. You know, Mexico's hosting. So you're not getting the European guys. You know, all the Raul Jimenez, all those guys are going to show up a few weeks, just like all the other countries' players will arrive. But, you know, it's said and done. You know, it's same thing with Hormiga. When Hormiga was scoring, and you're like, oh, you know, it's so amazing. I was like, just enjoy it, bro, because I don't think Hormiga comes back to Chivas. Whether he starts for Mexico or he rides the bench, I think he's created enough hype with his numbers for the last 12 months and his age to leave to Europe in the summer. So that's another thing that pisses me off. You know, it reminds me of like when Chicharito, he was hot. We didn't get him for Libertadores, and we didn't get him for Liguilla. Like we could have won Libertadores, we could have won that Liguilla, and we lost our striker for some bullshit minicamp. But no, that's probably the thing I'm most disappointed in myself that I didn't enjoy the Chivas wins as much as I should have because I just knew that we would not have it when it mattered most. So I'm not really looking forward to Liguilla, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, Habibi, you really hit it on the nose. I have that same sentiment, you know, now that I realized, holy smokes, this is happening. We have a list, 5 players. I'm like, shit, dude. I was really excited about this team going on a deep run and then just realizing, crap, dude, I don't know if we can pull this off once we lose 5 players, 5 key players. But I do think that there have been players biding their time. Yael Padilla, Camberos, you know, Sandoval. You also haven't seen anything from the other player we bought from MLS, Jonathan Perez. So I don't know if he's going to be featured in Liguilla. I'm curious to know if Milito will even bother using the 5 players in the first leg. I would like to see them at least get one leg in Liguilla before we ship them off to Aguirre. But yeah, I don't agree with pulling these players out like so prematurely. They're not gonna. You can train all you want, but training is not a real game. And you know, if there's anything I've learned from the Ronaldinho documentary, is that he didn't give a fuck about training. He was, as soon as the whistle ended, he was just worried about partying and enjoying his time off the pitch. But when he was on because it was game time. He didn't care about practice. And I think that there is a possibility, like they do in boxing, there's a possibility of overtraining. Just being in training camp so long that by the time the World Cup kicks off, you're just kind of like overtrained and drained out because you haven't been able to play against real opposition. And I know we have friendlies scheduled at the end of May, but that's the end of May. These players would benefit much better from playing in Liguilla and seeing this project through. And also looking at the language that was put in the statement, there's no guarantee that these guys are going to the World Cup. We've already seen Aguirre do some shady shit in the past, you know, calling players and then not taking them to the World Cup. Like the one with Jonathan Dos Santos comes to mind. That was very dirty how they handled that situation. And he kind of cowered with his hat and everything, trying to prevent himself from showing his face. So, yeah, It's really unfortunate, but I'll be optimistic. We have Tigres on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. At least I just hope that it's scrappy. And we'll see how it goes for Toluca tomorrow against LAFC. That should be a banger. I am so mad that I missed out on the Champions League match today. It looked like a fucking incredible match between PSG and Bayern. I'm hoping we get something like that tomorrow with Toluca and LAFC. All right, guys. It's been a great episode, almost 3 hours. I appreciate all the fans, all the listeners, and everyone on the panel tonight. We will catch you on the next one.